Ain't this one a banger, right? Yeah, I was happy I found this one. I was like, okay, we got another one. Another banger for the list. I was like, oh yeah, that one's going on the list right there. That one's going on the list. I need to find more bangers that we can play that are, now this one I've played like a million times. Still a banger. Found this one earlier. Goblin from Mars Turf Force. I was like, alright, I'll add that to the list. If anyone finds copyright-free bangers, I'm always looking for new ones to add. This is like half the fun of me doing this. It's finding bangers to play that are copyright-free. It's an interesting thing because it's not because in my normal life, it's not like I'm listening to copyright-free music in my day-to-day life. Like I can't just throw J. Cole on this and be okay. So I gotta go on like a whole different hunt. I like this part of the song. I like this part. Oh, I thought we were ready. Are we ready? I think we'll be getting to the draft here soon. Waiting on Dapper Penguin Squad. was happy with that one. I don't even know where I found this. I'm trying to think of where I found this song, where I came across this. It's like from a YouTube video. It was like a. I can't think of what it was. Oh my god, I figured it out. It was a bowling video. This was used as the background music for a bowling video I watched once. And I was like, I like this song. It was this part, yeah. Oh, we're ready. Okay, forget all that. Let's hit us with the. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit too loud. A little bit too loud. Turn down my headphones. A little bit. Hold on. Wait a second. Let's go. Yeah, Champions Korea. We are here for the first match. The first game, the second match of the night. Our first game of our second match tonight is the DPS versus Cowboys. I am joined here in the booth by Wilson. How are you doing, my man?
Absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to get into this draft. It should be an absolute banger of 2 to 3 games to be able to watch here tonight.
Yeah, 2 to 3 games. What are you gonna make a prediction right here? I know that you are. I'm not sure if necessarily biased or representative of Cowboys. I heard that you, a little bit of bias towards Cowboys. I heard that you guys went to the same university or something like that. Same with me and LSD.
One of their former members goes to school with me. I'm gonna say a 2-0 for Cowboys,
okay.
given their position on the table relative to DPS's, but again,
that's
there's a reason they play the game.
Exactly. There's a reason why they play the game. It's not done and over. Standings aren't everything. Cowboys, I believe, maybe are 2-1 on the season. I think DPS are 0-3. Just off of the top of my head, I'm not exactly sure. I know DPS are looking for their first win. They do have a very solid first 2 champions so far, though, with the Orianna and the J4. We're going to see Kaisa and Nautilus also a very solid byline on the other side. We'll see what happens on B3 here for DPS. But so far, I mean, very solid. We're going to look at the bans. We didn't get it. They went through the bans super fast, so I guess teams are definitely ready today. We got the Rel and the Rakan. So 2 supports banned out from Lakey over on Cowboys, and the Volibear banned out by DPS. And it looks like on the other side, they banned out 2 junglers. The Kazakhs and the Ilila, 2 junglers banned out from, I'm assuming it's actually, I'm not sure if they realize who's jungling. It looks like that's going to be Chase jungling for them. And the Tristana is a common ban away from Your Bad Connection. The Gragas banned away as well. Okay. I think we did see Mr. Krabs do some stuff on some Gragas before.
I'm interested to see why they banned Volibear. The nerfs to Volibear, I think, did hurt him a decent amount. Okay. And especially with crit being a little bit better, I think tank is kind of the wave to go. But I could see Volibear being a problem. I mean, one of the strongest 1v1 champions up in that top lane. And then the Gragas ban out of Cowboys. I mean,
Gnar ban.
A good Gragas is something to worry about, and then we see the Gnar ban come out by DPS as well.
I think it was Havoc Pigeon that played that last week, I think.
Gnar just one of those characters you can't ever really grab a hold of. Able to just really do everything, but never really excels at something. So just a really safe overall pick. Gonna force them into more of a uncomfortable position. Then we see Aatrox and Viego beat the last 2 bans. So that's their... Viego's an interesting pick. Viego, of course, massive snowball potential, and Aatrox just insane with that.
Sejuani picked up by Cowboys here. So gonna pick up their jungler. They'll be leaving the top lane. Havoc Pigeon, of course, will be getting the counter pick. Makes sense. Havoc Pigeon was huge for them last week and has been huge for them many points throughout the season. Yeah. So it makes sense to let him have the counter pick there versus Krabs.
And going into it, Pigeon said he was slightly worried about the other top laner. Plays a lot of the carry top laners, able to really play through it. And we see one right out right there.
Olaf with the Orianna.
Yeah, okay. Out. And really, Olaf's in a
wait, are we waiting for support? I just realized they at first picked Orianna.
Is this
support B5?
No, it's not going to be.
I mean, so you're saying they're picking support B5? Their last pick of their draft is support. Okay.
I mean, typically, it's not uncommon at the higher ranks to see.
If you have a priority pick in the solo lanes, for sure, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's the Mook. Oh boy, do they have an Orianna comp.
Yeah, they're definitely going for those team fights. That Jarvan paired with the Ori, really just carrying things up, setting things up for the Xayah. And then you have Olaf just gonna be able to run through all the CC that Cowboys is gonna be able to throw at them. But again, at the same time, look at the mobility and CC that Cowboys has. If they just ignore the Olaf, they can just lock someone out of a team fight completely for about the entire duration. So really, you have a 4v5 in these scenarios. We see Wukong coming out, and that is such a tough matchup for Olaf. What I would say that is one of the hardest matchups for an Olaf player to go up against because I'm speaking on personal experience here. It's my highest mastery champion. So
which one is?
Olaf.
Oh, okay.
And it's just so difficult to get a hold of Wukong because of the clones, the invisible, the mobility, and by the time you finally get a hold of him, you're dead. So I love that counter pick right there out of Cowboys. Great for team fights as well. Can double ult, double knock up. So much CC on the side of Cowboys.
Yeah, it's just so much at that point.
And
I don't know, maybe later. Like, do you feel like in the late game, Olaf? I feel like later, as time goes to infinity, I think Olaf would start to kind of roll over. It seems. It seems to me like as it goes late game, I feel like Olaf can start fighting back. The lane phase seems really rough. But I feel like once you get level 6 and then you don't care about the knockup, you can just kind of start beating him up.
So the thing with Olaf is you have to get ahead or else your champion is useless. You essentially do nothing if you are not ahead in most matchups. Wukong is so difficult for that reason because Wukong's always going to be good for your team because you can always ult in team fights in an AoE area. Olaf, you only have single target just running it down. So you really have to be careful to not get too far behind as Olaf because if you do, it's going to lead to not really being able to add a whole lot of value for your team. Yes, you have a lot of team fight with Alistar, with Orianna, with Jarvan, but at the same time, you have to be careful because if you get behind, it is so hard to get back into it, and if you do, you essentially are going to be subjugated to just only split pushing the entire time. So this Olaf needs to. Do you
think they can play the 4-1 on DPS? I don't think split pushing Olaf is a bad idea.
Split pushing Olaf is great because of the W. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal, and I say it's one of the most underrated parts about his kit. People underestimate his split pushing so much, and especially with the grubs this season, split pushing is a lot better if you're able to secure those early grubs without giving too much value for it. So definitely going to be something to keep an eye on as well, because yes, you mentioned this, the 4 outside the Olaf may be enough to win these team fights. I mean,
That's pretty good 4
alone. Yeah. I mean, we saw them wreak havoc last year on the competitive scene and the pro scene. It was just basically pick ban every single match. I think Ori had one of the highest pick ban rates at Worlds. So definitely something a lot of people are keeping an eye on in this because of just how much value she gives towards team fights.
Are we not ready? Are we ready? It's just been sitting here. I think we're ready. We are.
I'm ready.
Not a single person from DPS has said anything.
I mean, I'm ready.
we're ready over here.
I'm ready to see this.
Yeah, we are good.
I think really what it's gonna boil down to is DPS's success in team fights, because if they can't secure the 4, I think they're going to be in a lot of trouble, because I don't think this Olaf's going to be in the picture almost ever. Granted, I could be wrong.
You're saying Havoc Pigeon's going to hard gap Mr. Krabs in the top lane is what I'm hearing.
Because it's so difficult to get a grasp on Wukong and get him low. Yes, Wukong has no regen. However, at the same time, though, you also can't catch him. Wukong's going to be able to farm for free, essentially, be able to rotate and help his team. And if you can't get ahead as Olaf,
I feel like champions that scale, it's okay if they don't get ahead early. I feel like a champion like Olaf
that Olaf is not a scale.
You don't think he scales? You don't think he's a monster late game? Okay.
Olaf is not a monster late game. He is single target. He will get deleted by an ADC late game, and which is why he needs to get ahead early.
Okay.
If he can get ahead early, I think DPS could win this. However, it relies, I think, on him being there for the team fights, because I think Wukong being in these team fights just messes up DPS's entire plan.
Yeah, it does get very difficult with Wukong and team fight. Wukong is scary, super scary engaged, lots of CC, very, very annoying to deal with.
Yeah, because the only thing Olaf's gonna really offer is a slow in a team fight, and then after that he just has to run and hope that he's not targeted. So I think it's gonna come down to that. Sejuani as well though is also countered by Olaf, so that's something to keep in mind as well. He can just axe, pick up axe, and then axe again, and then the passive slow immunity from Sejuani is gone. You can ignore all the CC Sejuani dishes out. So probably just gonna be an island for both top laners in this one, because I don't see Jarvan really catching up to Wukong, because Wukong has so much stuff to get away from the Jarvan ult. So definitely, I think top lane is just gonna be on an island for this one. But again, I could be wrong. You know, never know what these teams have in mind.
Yeah. See how they end up playing it. I can see how you definitely think like there's gonna be a lot of focus towards the bot side of the map. And just let the top lanes go out, but
we've been talking about the top side. We need to talk about these bot lanes as well, though. Cowboys with Kai'Sa Nautilus is so disgusting. Nautilus just so much CC, like it's absolutely ridiculous how much CC you get out of Nautilus. And then Kai'Sa is just free to fire on the rest of your team while you do that. So that's also going to be something to keep in mind. You cannot let this Xayah die early because it will snowball out of control. And then just the mobility this already has to roam and clear waves is also going to be something to keep in mind. So I have a feeling this bot lane for DPS is going to be pressured a lot in this one.
And that is something that DPS is used to dealing with your bad connection, often having a lot of focus on him and how often having to be the person that absorbs that pressure. We'll see how he ends up doing in this game of absorbing that pressure, see what happens in the top side, and see if we do get a lot of focus on the bot lane. But we will not know anything until the game is played, so now we are going to take a quick break, and I'm going to show you guys about 60 seconds of advertisements, not so that we can make money, but so that we can turn off the pre-roll ads. It's for you guys. I'm doing it for you guys, not for us, but for you. It's for you. And then we will see you guys after the break whenever we load into the game. Oh, I was so concerned there for a second. For a second, I
I
was
was
so
too.
concerned. I was like, no way. We already have a spectator problem? Already?
Nah, we're
But it turns
good.
out it looks like the teams actually just paused themselves for a second there. So we actually are good to start this game. Are you paused at 5 seconds along with me?
I am not. I'm about to be there.
Okay, okay.
I might have. I might have a spoiler.
Oop, oop, oop.
All right, I'm good to go.
Alright, hold up. Let's see, streaming you with us. Let's see, everything looks good. On my screen, it looks super blurry. I hope it doesn't look blurry for you guys. Hope that's just me.
I can check. I have it up on mine. That looks fun.
Okay. Alright, ready? Five,
Yep.
4, 3, 2, 1, play. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You with me? 12,
Yep.
13, 14.
Yep.
All right, then let's get started into our first game of our second match of the night between DPS and Cowboys.
Yeah,
Let's see what happens
and
in level one.
yeah, we take a look at this
Ooh, we
middle
see a
lane
ball.
here. This Ori is gonna walk up and Flash from Nautilus gonna connect. Charm layering the CC. Moitman gonna get first blood. That was the spoiler I saw early on.
I saw the line on the timeline
Yeah.
too. I knew that. I was like, oh.
And yeah, it's really unfortunate.
All right,
Ori not expecting all
okay.
five. No one ever expects all five to just walk down the middle of the lane. Like, how do you expect that? But really, just a great job. And that kill also goes towards the bot lane.
Yeah, and it goes on Moitman.
And an early longsword for Moitman.
And
as he
all they
goes
did,
back
it
to
just took
lane.
one flash. It was just Nautilus'
Yeah.
flash. No ignite,
And-
no anything. Everyone else just, yeah, they just died.
The,
Just,
the issue
Ibis
will be
did
for
get,
this Ari though.
yeah, did take charm.
Ibis did take the charm first, so wave clear is gonna be a little rough early on here. So maybe a little bit of poke gonna be able to come out from Ori, but yeah, but unfortunate.
What a play that was. No,
no
see
one
that? Yeah.
no one expects it.
All five.
Ori was saving Flash for the next day. And we're gonna see him start off with this red buff as well. Just really good aggressive play, and then by Cowboys to capitalize on that early. Mr. Crab's gonna look to push this wave up here in top lane, so that's gonna be something to keep an eye on. If Pigeon's gonna be able to freeze that out against this Olaf, that's gonna be a problem. Wukong leading some, getting some damage back, a little back and forth there in top lane early on. You gotta respect the Olaf early, because if he does, he'll just connect two axes, then you're done. You can't escape at that point.
First level 2 there
So.
by Moitman and Lakey in the bot lane.
Yeah, we see bot lane pressuring out here by Cowboys, and then this wave is gonna full crash. But Pigeon gonna sacrifice some HP to make sure it does it, and meanwhile Pigeon and Chosaint gonna look to try and get a kill up in top lane, but Ghost gonna be forced out there by Mr. Krabs, and that is the thing you have to be worried about, because now look at where that wave is in top lane, just on the opponent's side of the map, and you're not really gonna be able to do much as Olaf there besides try and force the clear. But Pigeon gonna be forced to flash.
Or
so
do
does
that.
Mr. Krabs and picks up a kill. That is exactly what you needed as Olaf in that scenario. Meanwhile, we have a fight coming down in the bottom. We're going to see a bad connection, get a kill right there. Moitman forced to ghost out of there and is able to live. But that is both sums for top lane.
Mr.
That is
Krabs.
ghost on Moitman, flash from Moitman. Meanwhile, in bot lane, you still have cleanse and both flashes up.
Oriana does have flash from using it from earlier. Oh!
Joe Satan, no!
Oh! Black
a
Fate
double.
arrives in the right time with the mechanical. Hey, probably wasn't doing that last season. The EQ flash from Prabhu to hit the knockup on the J4. Very well played there from the side of DPS.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal job. Chosaint trying to get the passive proc, dies for it, and Jarvan sweeps in like the hero of the story and just cleans house for DPS. And now, this is exactly what they needed. They needed this early advantage, but look at that damage from Wukong up in top lane. He's a level up and just chunked Olaf with 3 autos for half his health. I mean, that is what you have to be so careful of. Yes, Olaf's going to be able to heal off that wave, but now you just can't really play the game, and you have to play it super safe.
Yeah, I feel like what just happened? Ow. That
Yeah,
they heard, especially
really,
where, especially with where that oh, able to dodge out the abilities from Ari there. Is
movement
quite
from the
great,
Ori
yeah.
right there. Yeah, Ori's showing great movement right here, and that's really going to be the key to staying in this matchup here in this mid lane against Ari. Has such good wave clear, something you got to be so careful about. Uh, the
Auto.
the mobility, the
But
auto's coming out, the ability's coming out. Saint though here to
yeah,
help his mid laner out.
no
One auto,
flash
two auto,
available. No
passive
flash
proc,
available.
stun. Saint is gonna get the
It's
kill
getting
right
very
there, gets his
aggressive
revenge
there.
on the Ori, which in all
Ooh,
fairness.
meanwhile,
Ori kind of getting bullied out here. And then meanwhile, up here in top lane, I don't know if Havoc sees this Jarvan in the
I imagine he
bush,
probably
but
doesn't. Yeah.
Pigeon gonna
But
be able to
Lakey is
live.
here.
Lakey with the rotation, just leaving Moitman down there to fight for himself. And meanwhile, Moitman is not getting
And now
out of that
DPS
one.
is aware, like, oh, Lakey is not here. He's in fact topside.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and take that. Thank you very
They
much.
do secure grubs though. However, I don't think that's worth your bot laner dying.
We were just talking to Knights of Ishtar Frostbite saying, hey, grubs are very important. It feels like teams don't put enough priority into grubs. So here we see a Cowboys putting a lot of priority into grubs.
I'm the opposite. I don't think grubs are that good. I think if you can get them without giving up too much, it's good. But if you prioritize it and sacrifice stuff on the other end, like we just saw right there, that is definitely not worth. I don't think grubs are that good unless you have a dedicated split pusher on the team, which Wukong is decent at split pushing, but you want him in these team fights.
Yeah,
now,
I think
if
you
you
prefer
were
Wukong
DPS,
get team fights
you would
compared
want
to
it
split
because
pushing.
Olaf's split push is insane.
Right.
But it's just my personal
playing very aggressively in this
opinion.
lane.
Meanwhile, Orianna ultimate gonna come out here. Saint looking for the stun procs. The
No
REQ
flash available
is
yet
gonna
again.
Find it. The charm is gonna be enough, but Saint doesn't have that passive stack. But Ibis doesn't care about that and finds the kill on this Ari. And
I
that's
feel
what you have to be
Orianna playing aggressive with no flash, like playing so far up.
Yeah, really unfortunate.
Oh, a great
It's just fight
snare.
after fight. Moitman is gonna go down as well. Flash gonna come out from the Jar. Who flashed there?
It was your bad connection.
Yeah, Zaya forced the flash out of there
for no reason. Right, the Orianna, right? Yeah, I feel like the Orianna has now on two occasions it's just pushed far up against an Ari with the Sejuani that has shown willingness to gank with no flash available. I feel like Orianna's pushing up a little bit far there, but I mean it's fine. Orianna will still be useful, but it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, but this game has just been constant fighting to start things off here. I mean, we're 7 minutes. We're not even 10 minutes in, and there's already been 10 kills. And meanwhile, Sejuani trying to get out of there, but
and
the
Alistar plays
layered on, and not going to be able to get out of there in time.
5 kills here for J4.
Yeah, this Jarvan is looking like an absolute menace right now. 5 kills to his name. Meanwhile, great charm right there by Ibis, chunking that Ori down to have this Ori just not being able to play the video game right now. Eats double damage from the Q.
All this being said, but still very aggressive in this lane.
Is he going to be able to pick up the kill? Has the ward for the vision. Is going to have the W back up. The movement misses the charm. Ibis barely getting that kill, but he's not going to care about that. Meanwhile, we see Cowboys try and steal this dragon away, but no jungler means no chance for them to do just that. Smite going to come out right there. Jarvan secures the first dragon of the game in favor of DPS.
Orianna does now have flash whenever she returns to lane, so maybe it's part of the gameplay. Yeah, exactly. She has it now. Maybe it's part of the game plan to have Orianna just play hyper aggressive mid lane.
Yeah, no. This has just been an aggressive game, which honestly you need if you are DPS because you're not going to be able to really do anything. Well, not anything. It's going to be more difficult the later the game goes on because of the team comp that this Cowboys team has. This Kai'Sa is just going to start running around one-shotting everyone. So you got to be so careful about that. Not letting them get online. And they've done a great job. I mean, 1-2 right now for the Kai'Sa. Bot lane does have the bounty. And things are about even in CS. So I'd say this is a decent position
Yo,
to be in
my
for DPS.
guy, you're so far up the
Yeah,
lane
this
again.
Ori.
Aim, Quagger, what are you doing?
Yeah, Chose ain't gonna be able to pick up another kill here, most likely.
I mean, he's wasting their time. Hashtag waste their time.
Yeah, but is it gonna be enough? We see Ibis be using that mobility to escape.
Also,
this
like, no wards around either. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just
don't
getting
know what's going on in
anxiety.
this game.
It just
Like,
gives me anxiety.
This is one of the most unique games I have ever casted over, simply because I've never seen just
if only I could
haymakers
say,
being
but this
thrown
is just...
left and right like this.
Unfortunately, not too, or fortunately, not too crazy for me.
I'm here for it, but it's so difficult to cast over.
Yeah, we see these type of games here in BTL. It's not too crazy. Wait, does that pink ward not see that other ward? What? What?
No,
doesn't.
because it's not.
It's like
over the wall.
Yeah, wow, that
doesn't
little
work for
lip.
over the
That's
wall, yeah.
crazy. It's
not
like
an immediate
barely
vision tool.
around the wall. That's oh boy, oh boy.
Meanwhile, second round of Grub's going to be contested over. Meanwhile, Moitman's got to be careful walking up here. Almost pulled a.
Hey, Orianna not down on farm. Orianna died 5 times. Not down on farm, by the way.
Yeah, it's just
doing something.
Absolutely wild. He's dying for the CS, which is about to happen again.
May he rest in peace.
No, wait.
It's not over.
Nope,
Okay, it's dead. Yeah.
Okay. The CC layer from Lakey and Chosein right there, just really enough to do it. And then the stun gonna come out as well. Jarvan ultimate is gonna secure.
Oh wait, 2 people are in there.
No escape
2 people
for
are in
this
there.
Nautilus, as that last one is gonna come in and secure the kill. However, it's a triple for Ibis in the mid lane. The Ari picking up 3 and now sitting on a 300 bounty. Meanwhile, Mr. Krabs trying to find a kill on 2. Havoc Pigeon up in top lane, but not quite going to be able to find anything. And Cowboys getting phenomenal value out of that.
Mr. Krabs actually doing perfectly fine in this top lane. Up a kill, up on CS. As it goes on, he's starting to do really well in these trades.
Yeah, which is what you want as Olaf. You don't want to get behind early on. He's done a great job of really picking when and where to go in. But again, you have to be careful of that late game. You have to have enough of a barrier to where you're.
Ooh, Orianna's fighting, baby. It's time. Ari hasn't bought yet.
Forced the ult out of there.
Yeah, Ari hasn't spent her 2K yet, so Orianna could. That was a spot where Orianna probably could fight her.
And then you also have to be careful because you have a bounty on your name now as this Ari, so that's something to keep in mind with this one. And it's a tough position to be in as well if you are that Jarvan, because you come to the aid, you pick up 2 more kills, but that just adds to the bounty that's going towards the Ari. So, like, yes, good thing you're popping off. However, maybe it would have been better to give one of those kills to the Ori if possible, because...
Or maybe not, because Ori is just kind of just running it down. Maybe we don't get...
But at the same time,
maybe
though,
we lower the Ori's value as much as possible.
Yeah, but you just gave more gold to the Ari.
That's true. But if we reset, think about it. If you reset Orianna's gold value and she continues to die.
Yeah. Speaking of Orianna,
she's not dead this time though. Woo! There we go.
To solo, and we're gonna come to the side there. Just look at that CC out of DPS as well. Just that Alistar Jarvan combo, able to do so much right there, and just kind of walk through. And I think Chose tried to take advantage of this Ori being so far up, but didn't really have any support to do it.
Yeah. Ari wasn't there this time.
And then it looks like they're gonna get set up for Dragon, which should be coming up relatively soon, I believe.
Or we're doing a lane swap? Is Orianna going topside? Are they doing this to keep Mr. Krabs doesn't have teleport, so cutting Mr. Krabs towards closer to the dragon for this dragon spawn up there is what they're prioritizing.
Oh yeah, true.
Orianna does have a teleport eventually available, not currently available, does have a teleport at some point. We're gonna have Orianna try to just farm up there in the top
absolutely juked the Orianna right there. Just absolutely dance around with the invis clone and dash, and just nothing being done there. The slow gonna come out, but Ari just dashes away from that, and that is Axe temporarily down for the Olaf. Big ultimate gonna be coming out by Lakey. No one's there for damage though. It's just the tanks on their own, and then we see TP come out from Wukong as well, and we're gonna see the ultimate double knockup shut down,
There it is.
and it's bodies everywhere for DPS. Cowboys cleans
Where
up.
is Olaf?
And Olaf.
Olaf wasn't part of that fight. I thought Olaf was here for the fight. Wait,
I
what?
thought he
Where
was
was
too.
Olaf? I thought Olaf was in the
There
mid lane
you
so that
go.
he could be ready to fight this. I'm very confused.
Dude, it's
No,
absolutely.
alright.
And
They
that
win
was what I
that
was
fight.
talking about with the advantages of Olaf or of Wukong over Olaf. First
That's
of all,
true.
it helps if Olaf is there for the
Yeah, Olaf should still be there. That's true. Yeah,
that
Wukong is the
typically
better
helps.
team fighter, but yeah.
But Pigeon with the double knockup with the
Yes,
ultimate
it's
just
huge.
does so much value and gets so much damage out of that Sunder Sky. I mean, it's just such a strong item, especially on Wukong. Yes, you can't buy Divine Sunder, but arguably Sunder Sky is better for Wukong, as he just absolutely helps clean house right there. And we take a look on the side of Cowboys now. I mean, they are just
11-11.
so
They
up in the
up
middle
1K
part
here.
of the
Woo,
map. We
boy.
see Jungle.
Olaf does hurt. Olaf having 140
Olaf
farm
still
here,
has the
150,
damage,
yeah.
but again, he's got to be there for that. So it makes it so tough. But we take a look at the
gonna
mid
walk
lane
straight into Olaf.
and jungle difference in this one. It's
Probably
getting
doesn't
there
want
for
that
sure.
Fight. Not alone. Oh, they don't have the numbers here. They're gonna try to go for it. Maybe then they realize that they don't have the numbers.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't.
now they're realizing that they don't have the numbers. Now they're gonna try to run.
And full stacks out there is gonna stun
Ooh. Is able to
Jarvan,
get
who
into
was
the tower.
forced to
Oh, but they
combo
did
away.
find
Meanwhile,
somebody.
Leaky on his own, no one there gonna be able to help him out, and that's gonna be bad connection. Picking up another kill right there. This Zaya getting kind of fed here. Definitely something to keep an eye
UBC.
on as this game goes on.
UBC things. This is what we expect from your bad connection off pretty often on these scaling champions.
Oh, yeah, especially with all the item changes as well. Now the hyper carry ADCs are in such a good spot right now. I'm surprised we didn't see any Maokai come out with how strong that
Okay,
character
gonna
still
force
is
the
right
ultimate
now.
out of ointment.
Yeah, definitely favorable position to be in.
Walking straight into.
Mr. Krabs.
Gonna take a lot of
Not
damage
gonna
there.
be
There are a lot of
Oh.
DPS members here, though. Here's the ultimate. Not gonna get shut down. Not gonna get CC there, but it's gonna be super low.
Yeah, the Olaf heal is going to come up, but
Ooh.
Havoc is just healing so much. Havoc Pigeon, just the Divine Sunder heals with Conqueror as well on top of it. Just gives so much
There he
value. He gets one. Oh, he almost got the Jarvan as well. If he had picked up that kill on the Jarvan, that would have been one of the
Oh,
legendary
did he get it?
dives of all time. And then meanwhile, Moitman trying to find the Jarvan backing, but is unable to do so. Jarvan able to get that back off. Great job there by Pigeon to realize that Olaf was sitting under that tower with 1 HP.
And that'll be a tower destroyed in the mid lane. Going to go for the top tower as well. A good team fight there from Cowboys.
Yeah, and that's something that's a bit surprising. I expected DPS to have the much better team fights, considering that they have Jarvan, Ori, and Zaya. But
Yeah, they didn't really get that off there. Orianna
Yeah.
was bot side. Orianna wasn't there for that team fight.
Ori's
weren't-
not
weren't
really
pretty-
been there for most of the game in general.
Yeah. Orianna's
just kind of
Orianna's
been
doing something. Is
Playing
playing a different
catch up
way.
at 0-6.
I mean, if you never want to see Orianna building Mercury's chin, Orianna is struggling.
Why is she building armor?
Who?
That better be for Seeker's Arm Guard and nothing else.
I'd imagine so, but even still, I mean, this Orianna's playing from behind is building tanky,
Yeah.
there, which is a little bit concerning. But Orianna will have utility no matter what. That's one thing about Orianna.
Yeah, that's just the
She's
character in
good.
general. You're not playing for lane, you're playing for team fights. So
She
I get
can
it.
be a carry. She can do a lot of damage. But if she loses early game, she could just be there for utility. But
Yeah.
you need her there for the team fights in that case. Uh-oh.
and they do the crouching tiger technique, hiding in the bush, gonna try and find the kill onto this Alistar.
No way he lives,
The
right?
tankiness
Okay, he
right
does not
there,
live,
but
correct.
it's gonna be the heat-seeking orbs, I guess, from the W is enough to do right there. Chose ain't gonna be able to chunk that tower with a bit.
Oh,
Ultimate
and
gonna
they're
come
going
out,
for
force the cleanse, but the
UBC.
charm
The
hits.
charm.
Bad connection, gonna force the ultimate to safety. Everything burned for the bot laner. And meanwhile, this Jarvan. This Jarvan
Olaf
trying
is
to escape and just
yeah.
not going to be able to, and
Oh
falls.
man,
And right now,
Oriana 0-7,
Cowboys,
struggling.
Cowboys storming towards victory. I imagine that they can take this inhib here.
I
No,
think they're
maybe
going to
not.
back off from it though. We'll get the
Yeah,
third dragon
Dragon
of the
going to be
game
up in
spotted.
7 seconds. Definitely going to be the prio. As they try and stack these Drakes, going to be another Ocean one right there. Or no, it's a Chemtech. My apologies. My observer messed up. And looks like they're going to secure it with no contest, but I don't really expect it. We see Baron lurking in the water there. Meanwhile, we see Havoc Pigeon trying to run away as fast
He
as
faked
he can.
that.
He
faked
tried
as
to
if
trick
yeah.
them. Tried to trick him by standing still as if he was the clone, but not gonna fall for it there, and he is gonna fall, and that's a massive gold
Big
shutdown
shutdown,
for
yeah.
Olaf. Exactly what he needed to get back in this game.
Yeah, 4K lead here for the side of Cowboys, as well as the 4 kill lead, up 2 dragons to 1, up 4 towers to 2. So they're doing sitting pretty well.
Yeah, and that Ari still has that massive shutdown as well, and yeah, Seeker's Arm Guard gonna be forced to be used by this
completed.
Ori. Just no chance of living.
No.
Ori being bullied. Oh, lives!
Ooh.
She's
Okay.
alive!
And then we'll get. Looks like DPS will change that into a tower in the top side.
Yeah, really great job by that Ori to
Hey,
stay
it's like
alive.
that's like the first time we've seen Oriana survive an engagement like that. Let's go.
Ori's
Things
learning.
are changing. Things are changing.
I
We
remember
believe
my
in
first
Quagger.
game
I
of
believe
League
in
of
Quagger
Legends.
in general. I know Quagger's a good player. I've seen Quagger do many good games. This is just an off game here.
Yeah, I
but
think
still,
it was just an
not that
unfortunate
far
start.
behind in CS still though.
No,
It's out
yeah,
there
like,
CSing though.
I think it's just an unfortunate situation. I don't think this Ori is really running it. I think it's just trying to play
I don't
behind.
know. There were definitely some mistakes made
There
in the
were
early game
moments
lane.
that had me questioning it, but
He's just
again,
jet lagged,
like,
yeah.
and we see really just we see Carrick on that Jarvan, definitely something to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, all 5 members of Cowboys on.
Oh,
this
Oriana
Baron trying
is
to bring it
actually
down.
teleporting in. Oriana will be here eventually, maybe a little bit late. Here comes the team fight. Oriana looking for the ultimate. Not going to be able to find it as they go down too fast. Oriana not there quite in time. And it looks like they are just going to get run over here.
Yeah, and that's the power
that's
that
a
Ari
lot
gonna
of-
be
yeah,
able.
Ari's
You see
just
all the
very
dashes,
ahead.
the proc, the
Yeah.
malignant, such a good item for Ari,
Woo.
and that is gonna be a clean house right there. And now they can go get Baron completely
now they get
uncontested
Baron.
without a worry in the world. Only one left on the board is Olaf, who I don't think we'll be able to get that.
I would
that
like
bot
to,
lane turret.
if I could go back and see. I feel like, I don't know. If they were going to fight the Baron, then they definitely had to wait for Oriana to teleport in.
Yeah,
And it feels like they
pulled the
didn't have
trigger too
enough
early.
time. They didn't have enough time for Oriana to actually get there. They kind of have to engage all together while they're on the Baron, and it looks like they died before Oriana could get there.
Yeah, they definitely pulled the trigger too early and paid for it for sure. But again, I think if they wait a little longer as well, I think Cowboys just burns that Baron down to 0 and gets out of there scot-free. So I think
good. They don't really have any way to poke. They can't really poke
Yeah.
him off of it.
yeah, so I think it's kind of hindsight 50-50 because if it worked
Yeah.
out, we would have been praising them. So like, it's just one of those scenarios you really never know what would have been the situation. And meanwhile, not really a lot of towers for Cowboys to contest for.
Does have
Ari
ultimate
gonna be
back
able to
again.
get out of there.
Malignant does make your ultimate have a very low cooldown.
Yeah, and
His
Ari's
specific
ultimate already
20
has a
abilities.
super low cooldown as
Yeah.
well. It's part of what makes the character.
That was
so
anybody
safe
but
and so
Ari.
strong.
Well, I guess maybe Moitman. But
Yeah, and then meanwhile, what's going on with this blue buff? I guess the blue buff reset. I don't know. But meanwhile, I don't think Cowboys is gonna get a lot of value out of this Baron buff. I mean, they've already taken all the tier 1s. You have tier 2 and inhib turret taken in mid. So you gotta push one of the side lanes for the tier 2, and you really can't do that. So I think your only course of action is force a team fight in mid, but you burnt a lot of your cooldowns already. So I don't think they get a lot of value out of this. But we'll have to wait and see.
J4 trying to fight The Ari down 4 levels on her was able to get her ultimate, which is once again back up hilariously.
Okay, yeah, we see Moitman going forward. This inhib. Ori
Yeah,
Ball gonna come out,
won't
try
really
and
be able
deal
to
with
do a
Chosine a
lot.
bit, and then it looks like they're
Better.
just gonna grab it and get out of there. Olaf Axe is gonna connect onto Moitman, so that's gonna be something to keep an eye on. CC immediately
Oh
gonna come out as
no,
well.
that was a mistake.
Is gonna go in and flash over the wall. Moitman not gonna be able to
The
escape.
Oriana
no one there
ultimate
for us
did
to
nothing,
heal him
but
off.
hey, Olaf went in there super fast at least.
Olaf doing Olaf things. Pressing R and running at
Mm-hmm.
someone at Stridebreaker as well, just ensuring Kaisa can't get away. And
Oh,
that is
they do
both
not have
sums
vision in
used
this.
up.
In this.
Yeah, and then meanwhile,
jungle.
Teamfight going to be coming out here. Olaf going to land an axe
Ooh.
in the middle, but is it going to be
Triple
enough?
knockup?
Charybdis
Oh.
trying to go back in, but no damage
Survive.
in the area for DPS. And meanwhile, it might be a free dragon for Cat Cowboys. Those sources of damage are there for Cat Cowboys. Meanwhile, you have your DPS all the way up top, so I guess you're okay giving up this Chemtech dragon to... Is that Chemtech? Yeah, it's Chemtech. To a team that already has
Now they're on Soul Point.
a lot of CC, and yeah, now it's Soul Point. I question contesting that. You don't get any value really out of having Xayah go top lane. And I mean, I guess you try and get a pick onto Moitman, but I don't think you're gonna be able to. Yeah, it's just gonna ult out of there. Like,
yeah. You traded ultis and
I'm not crazy on that play at all. I think that's not a good play on DPS's end. And
Mr.
then-
Krabs.
And Mr. Krabs is going to get baited out. This Ari going to try and go in. And just the damage being output by this Olaf is insane. Havoc going to be forced to go away. The axe is going to connect. The healing from Olaf gets so much gold injection.
Olaf.
Absolutely
Olaf
stopping it
is
down.
still a monster.
Not
That
enough damage coming out. Also,
That man
no
got a lot
heal
of
cut.
CS. That
You
man is a
need
monster.
the heal cut if you're going to fight this Olaf.
Crab
And-
Rave.
Yeah, the only one with heel cut on the side of Cat Cowboys is this Sejuani. So definitely going to be something to keep an eye on as we go in. I think you need at least 2 people with anti on your team.
Man, DPS just does not have great vision here. Completely unaware that there were 2 people right there.
Yeah, it's
As
just,
Blackfake just walks right past them. Okay, now they figured it out. Olaf is here. Oriana is teleporting in. Are they gonna be able to get something here? Olaf chasing down Lakey. The other 2 going after Chosei. Chosei able to use the blast cone to get away. Lakey still getting chased down here. Gonna get cut off by Charybdis and Black Fate. There goes the exhaust. Lakey should be going down here. Oh, it's a plastic on the wall. No, there's no plastic. And now we see Ari is here. Already used 2 jumps of the ultimate.
appointment with the preemptive fist
Okay.
bump. Yeah, playing with fire right now, but again, look at the middle of this map. The super minions just pushing through.
marching
Gonna
down the
force
lane,
DPS back in this one. And meanwhile, Moitman just firing missile after missile towards these teams, and that sums
yeah,
down.
we see that.
And Wukong has
Moitman
a
with
chance to
this-
split push as well.
Woman with this build does love to just start firing those missiles with this like AP hybrid Kaisa build. We've seen that a lot. We've seen Moitman do that. It loves to do that on this Kaisa.
Yeah, definitely something to keep in mind as Baron comes down to about 30 seconds here in this one. So definitely going to be a hot commodity for both these teams as really clawing their way back in this one has been DPS. Cat Cowboys seem to be towards a commanding lead, and now it's basically even. We look at gold totals, only just under 4,000 gold in favor of Cat Cowboys. 5 kills in hand, but got to keep in mind that dragon count as well is stacking in favor of Cat Cowboys, so something to keep an eye on as we go later on to this game, and as both teams set up for this Baron.
Olaf is backing for the Wukong.
Yeah, Wukong split pushing as well. Both these split pushers, I think both these top laners undervalued split pushers in this one, and then meanwhile Baron's gonna get burned.
We have to see this go well. Now ultimates are available. It has to be the Oriana ball on Sun, some type of ball delivery system. If you're gonna do this right.
Yeah, definitely gonna be something to keep on. Knockup gonna come
they
out
are
onto
gonna stay
Sejuani.
away
Gotta
from
get
each
out of
other.
there. Lakey trying to survive. Shield going to come out as well. Hook on to the Zaya. And it's just not going to be enough from Cleanse. Too much CC to deal with. And another kill going to be out. Cryptus goes down. Olaf, though, you got to be so careful and to deal with this. And just the healing and damage output by this Olaf is insane. Are you kidding me? He's going to be able to get
now
out of
Oriana
there.
is here.
Ori is here as well, being able to give shields to
Oh!
this Olaf. Look at the healing from this Olaf. Are you kidding me? Finally shut down Wukong. Trying to get this last little bit of damage. And is going to be able to do just so. I thought Olaf was about to 1v5 right there.
Yeah.
But not quite going to be able to find the
Thank
last
God
bit of
Chose had the Thormel.
You didn't have Chose there. You didn't have Chose there to distribute the anti-heal for the Olaf. So the Olaf was just getting full heal value out of that. Wukong did have Xe.
Okay. I was like, I definitely saw him get anti-healed at some point. Yeah. That's hilarious.
And then the Steric shield as well from that Olaf really just helped keep him in that fight for so long. Ori as well, but unfortunately just too many numbers.
I'm still disappointed by that. Like, okay, Oriana, like that ended up being such a. I feel like if you're drafting J4 Alistar Oriana, we haven't seen one single delivery of an Oriana ball into an ultimate yet. Like Oriana didn't ult until the end of that fight. Like everyone else was dead. Like, I thought we were going to get like, all right, let's see it. Let's see the Alistar WQ Oriana. That should be relatively simple. Get onto a priority target. Get the ball to somebody.
Yeah, it really is. And meanwhile, we see this Dragon being burnt down. And now going in on this Jarvan so tanky because of that
this
carry.
This is going to be tough. That's going to be...
And that's going to be Soul. And it's Hextech Soul, which is so good for this team, given how tanky they are. You have a Bruiser with Wukong. You have a tank with Lakey. You have a tank with Chosaint. So definitely going to be something to keep an eye on in this one as we continue to play through this. And now it's really, I think, one team fight is going to be it, and it's
Olaf
done.
Is a monster, but
yeah, you have to keep the Olaf in mind too. But again, if you can isolate him or keep him out of a team fight, and you have all 5 against him, that's when you can succeed. And then meanwhile, Ori, familiar sight, walking up, taking a bunch of damage out of Moitment, just chunking down. He hits a second one as well. Can he hit the third? Not quite going to be able to do so. Olaf by himself.
Olaf,
not where you want to be.
Moitment using the ultimate. Trading ultimates
gone,
with Moitment.
Ultimate burned, CC layered onto him.
That's not good. Olaf doesn't have ultimate here. Olaf can't be Olaf.
Massive cooldown. However,
where is Oriana?
Ari going to force the TP in.
Oriana
Look at the damage from this. Ari, are you kidding me? And the Crypt Bloom gonna keep Moitment alive as well, and this Ari wreaking havoc on this team, and DPS just can't deal with it. What a teleport from that Ari. Cleans house yet again with basically full build online. Not gonna be enough for Olaf to stay in this one, and just gonna be Cowboys running it down mid, trying to end this game as fast as possible.
Man, oh man.
What a team fight,
we didn't get a single ball delivery team fight in this game. That's just insane to me.
Yeah.
That's just absolute insanity to me. How does that
hard
happen?
to win when you don't play your comp the way you should.
That's how does that happen? That's very unfortunate.
It's just I think it's just kind of Ori got behind early, wasn't able to really catch back up, and it just kind of snowballed on them.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. Oriana could be could be super weak, but you could still do Oriana ultimate team fights.
Yeah.
It is. So it's like it was just like a lack of focusing on trying to get it going.
I think it's just timing, really.
Yeah. It was just like the timing and the position of where the Oriana was.
And Chose
the one time they attempted to do it, Oriana ulted too early for the ball that was on Olaf, and it hit nobody.
No, Jarvan got fooled by the Wukong clone, and Chose just dashes over the wall right there. So unfortunate by DPS, and now Chose going back in. Now that he's got numbers at his back, Chose going to be able to get out of there as well. And this is going to be the 3rd Baron in this game.
So many Barons.
Yeah, I mean, we are 33 minutes in, so it's not really that surprising. Meanwhile, that Carrick gets burned so quickly from that full Ari combo. Really nothing they can do to this Ari in this scenario. Maybe that Dance helps out with just keeping this Olaf alive, but I think this Ari just has too much damage, so much going on.
Ooh, Moitment to the back line.
Yep, we see the ultimate's gonna come out from every single side, the Wukong ult
Yeah, they're
and
getting
everything,
smacked
but
by
it's a
Waller
double
right
kill for the Ahri, triple kill for the Ahri. Olaf's gonna find one, but is it gonna be enough is the question. No, it is not. The
No, it is
Crypt
not.
Bloom doing so much work with 4 instances on that Quadra, and
Another
Ibis
Quadra.
cleaning house right there. 17 for Cat Cowboys, really
17,
helping
3,
propel
and
them
14
towards this victory.
on Ibis for the Ahri, yeah.
I mean, just absolutely, just a clinic put on how to play Ahri. They have Winions in the base, and yeah, just an absolutely phenomenal performance right there by Cat Cowboys.
A solid game one.
Very solid game one.
Very solid game one victory here from Cat Cowboys as they win it 35-20, win it in about 34 minutes and 30 seconds. Most damage in the game being dealt by Ahri, unsurprisingly, but not far behind is the Olaf, and not far behind that is the Wukong. Ahri doing 38,000, the Olaf doing 33, and the Wukong doing 32.
If we take a look at the gold as well, I mean, that Ahri just never really got back in that game. I mean, look at the comparison between really the mid and jungle.
It did a lot of damage, though. Orianna did 26k. Didn't do nothing. Yeah,
really an unfortunate game if you are the mid laner, but I think it's just the forget about it, go next kind of scenario, for sure. And then meanwhile on the other end, like you take a look at the gold, and every single gold graph is in favor of Cat Cowboys in every role, but
Maria addicted to TFT Hyper Roll. I see.
It was still quite a close game in general. So I'm expecting more excitement out of this game number 2.
All right. And we will be taking a short break as we get ready for game number 2. Whenever that draft starts, we'll be back, and we will. Hey, don't judge. I'm not judging. I'm just seeing it. I'm just I'm not. There's no judgment. No judgment. All right, but we will see you guys back here for game number 2.
Doing the things they know, talking about the same old stories they've heard about the people they think they know. But do you ever try to path on the right side, put it up in your mind? But did you ever try to path on the left side, put it up in your mind? It's gonna be hard. You run.
Yeah, I would like to see maybe a Maokai or a Karma come out in this one, because yes, Karma was recently nerfed, but still quite strong. Galio as well was one that received a big change, so definitely something to keep an eye on here. Maybe a steer away from the AP on the side of Cat Cowboys in this one, especially as well after the item changes to favor crit as well.
J4 Galio.
Yeah, definitely still something you can do it with. You trap in that J4 ult, that Galio ult does some serious damage. AoE knockup, slow,
A lot of CC.
everything.
Whole lot of CC.
Yeah.
See, the Kaisa once again from Moyman. Moyman pretty much playing Kaisa, I think, almost every single game of BTL this season.
Is he really?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, that's... Yeah,
and they get the Kaisa Nautilus.
I expect to see Nautilus right there. And sure enough, we see Nautilus come out as well. Cat Cowboys doesn't have counter pick, though, so that's going to be something to keep in mind as well.
Gonna give counter pick probably to Mr. Krabs up on the top lane.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. For sure, but I'm more interested to see if they pick a jungler here or if they pick a bot lane. Or they already have jungler. So they will pick bot lane. So it's still support and top on the boards for DPS. Meanwhile, that Volibear could be either. So definitely something to keep an eye on in this one as we see the second round of bans. Gnar getting banned again. What's your thoughts on that one?
I mean, Gnar did a lot of damage. Havoc Prison went pretty crazy with Gnar before, so I understand it. I'm gonna see.
Yeah, Gnar one of those characters, and then we see Rek'Sai be banned out. Well, not locked in as a ban, but Rek'Sai is such a strong top laner right now with the changes she received, and it's gonna be Olaf actually gonna come out. Maybe
no more of that. The Olaf was
maybe
scary.
Cat Cowboys gonna lock in Rek'Sai as their pick. Maybe that's why they didn't ban it.
Potentially, but it makes sense to also ban the Olaf. The Olaf did have a lot of... was like the only hope that DPS had last game,
Yeah, Rek'Sai sitting at about a 53% win rate in top lane right now. So the buff's definitely helping out. And then that Ahri ban, kind of warranted, I would say, after the performance that was put on in that second half by... was that... No, that wasn't just Ibis. Yeah, Ibis, yeah. So gonna be interesting to see what Cat Cowboys ban out for the second one. It looks like it will be Rek'Sai. No Rek'Sai pick gonna come out from Cat Cowboys. So I imagine they'll save counter pick for the top laner and pick their support right here.
Yeah, it would be crazy if it was the other way around.
Hey, at the highest levels, it happens more than you would think because...
I mean, but they already know the support matchup.
But at the same time, support is usually at the highest levels where it's... Yeah, we see Camille, who is kind of dead support, so this might... I think this is a top lane Camille, because Camille's support is not good anymore after the nerfs. So, gonna be interesting if that is a Camille bot on support.
Interesting kind of flex here. I haven't seen Camille top in a long time. Say mostly just Camille support this season.
I mean, Camille's still sitting at a 50% win rate, so
could
maybe
be a Zac top,
or it could be Volley top with Zac jungle.
Yeah,
you can flex both of those.
Some
jungle
flexing
top.
possible here. We just like Galio.
You can also put Akshan on top. What is going on?
No, I
so
think
it's definitely Akshan mid.
Yeah, Akshan has to be mid.
Theoretically, Akshan mid. Could be
Zac probably mid. Expecting Bo's Galio mid. Now, what do you put in the top lane versus Zac / Volibear? Unless it's Camille top. Yeah.
There's so many like question marks heading into this
some
one.
Psychological warfare here between
these
two teams.
It is, and that is.
And it's Groggy.
It's the Bomba. Gragas comes out on the side of DPS. That is a very, very good pick against this Cat Cowboys team. You're essentially just going to deny that volley running at you, prevent that Zac from really moving around a whole lot and lock them down. So definitely, I like that Gragas pickup. However, that does confirm Camille's support, which still has a 50% win rate. So I might have been wrong by saying it's dead. That's on me. But gonna be an interesting one here for sure. This is a very different draft than the last one. But I expect to see the problem if it's Zach top lane, that's going to be a problem for Gragas a bit because he's just going to be able to jump on Gragas. But if it's Volibear top, you're not going to be able to touch that Gragas. Gragas against any melee champion in top lane, you just won't be able to touch him. That's just the way the character works. You get enough mana regen online, you just can't really do anything the entire time.
Yeah,
So,
we've seen
Gonna be interesting.
Mr. Kraz perform on the Gragas before.
Yeah, I do remember talking to Cat Cowboys, and they were concerned about the Gragas heading in. But it seems they were confident enough about it to let it slip in towards the end of the draft. So definitely going to be something to keep an eye on in this one. Yeah, players getting in a lobby right now. One thing I do want to kind of note on, though, is the dive potential that this Cat Cowboys team has. They have Volibear to disable the turrets. They have Kaisa to teleport onto someone. They have Zac who can jump in on someone. You have Akshan who can go invisible. Like, the tower dive from Cat Cowboys is absolutely just insane in this one. So I don't think, even if you're underneath the turret, you're safe in this game. However, you do have Galio ult to help out with that. Unless it's Galio getting dived, then that's a problem. But I like both these drafts for both these sides.
I'm interested to see what Oxon does. I haven't seen Oxon, and I'm not sure when's the last time I've seen Oxon on BTL.
Oxon's more of a. He's not really a good team competitive.
It's more like
he's
like
good
a type
for
of
solo queue because
thing,
he can carry. But it's been a while since I've seen him on his own.
Interested to see him. I'm always interested to see these type of picks. If you pick these type of feast or famine type things, or I mean, Oxon seems to me always seems so interesting, like in theory and competitive.
Yeah.
Like
in theory, he's great. However,
being able to revive teammates is much super interesting as a mechanic and competitive.
Yeah.
And you can do like a lot of things there for the coordinated team with that. And does potentially have really good roam, which could also which is also like good in solo can be used kind of well in competitive too. So it's not like the Feast of Famine type champions that are like a Zed, for example. It's not exact. It's a little bit better than a Zed in terms of like competitive viability, in terms of like utility it could potentially provide to the team.
Mm-hmm.
So I am
interested. I'm gonna cut you off real quick. I'm interested to see who is in top lane for Cat Cowboys because I'm feeling if it's Zac, it is playable for Pigeon. If it's Volibear, he can't touch that Gragas. It also could be Zac mid. I have seen them play Zac mid. Okay, it is Volley. Okay, they're not doing shenanigans this time. I have seen Zac mid come out from them before.
That'd be interesting.
And it was very interesting. And yeah, okay. So it is Akshan mid. Okay. I thought maybe there was a chance.
Akshan jungle.
Akshan jungle is not a thing. Yeah, it does not exist. I'm looking at U.GG. That is not on here. It is in top lane. It's the second highest win rate in top lane right now. Cassiopeia is in first, and then Rek'Sai is in third right now. Those Rek'Sai buffs made her scary in top lane. Because it's more bruiser focused, so you just get so much healing and so much value out of the character now. The passive was overtuned in my opinion, but character is just going crazy right now in ranked. One thing, though, to keep in mind as well, I don't see a dedicated tank except maybe Galio for this DPS team, who So that's definitely gonna be something to keep an eye on because Gragas is just gonna build full AP. Camille is gonna go Bruiser. Jarvan's gonna go Bruiser today. I don't know. There is a lot more tankiness on Cowboys than there is DPS. So
Yeah, but at least
Gotta be
DPS
interesting to see
is
what
not
happens with
without tank. They have like 3 off tanks with
Yeah,
Gragas,
exactly.
J4, and Galio, and even probably Camille will probably do things. So they're not they don't have a fully committed tank like a Zac or probably
yeah,
Volley.
or a
but they-
Nautilus.
Yeah, or Nautilus, right? True, but they aren't completely squishy at least. So they should have they shouldn't just like roll over like paper. It's not like my solo queue teams in
I'm more
bronze
worried about
where
the
we have
work
0
that this-
tanks.
I'm excited to see how this Jinx performs, especially after the item buffs that were given to her because
She's a good scaling champion too.
yeah,
If
she
you,
was
if you
already
have
strong
Jinx,
before.
you've got a chance. It's one of those characters. If you got
Yeah,
a Jinx, you
exactly.
got a chance.
You're never down and out as long as you have a Jinx.
Right.
So
All right, and
Definitely.
then we will see what these two teams do whenever they hit the Rift for their second game of this best of 3 match, and we will hit you guys with a ad break. Wait, is it preparing? It doesn't let me run the ads. It says I can't do an ad break right now. You guys are getting off scot-free. Instead, we'll just play music then, and while we wait out the spectator delay. Why can't I play ads? Oh well, we'll see you guys after this. It literally won't let me press the button, guys. What's going on? Alright then. Okay. Are you paused at 5?
Yep.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. play. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You with me?
Yep.
11, 12. All right, then let's get onto the rift for game 2 between the Cowboys and DPS. Cowboys taking the win in game 1, and I forgot to put the dot up there. Ah! 1 second, guys. I'll put that up there right momentarily.
Yeah, they're also no early blood here as Cowboys is running down the middle this time. But
Seen
looking
this time.
looking for a little cheeky invade here to start things off.
Yeah, they're being seen.
And they have been spotted the entire way. Definitely yeah, I think definitely on edge from DPS after the start to that last game, because it was really unfortunate for that Ori to be caught out like they were, and now both teams is gonna really default back to the normal starting position. However, Cowboys does have a deep ward, as does the DPS, so both teams gonna have knowledge on where these two teams start out at. Yeah, and this Galio in a bit of an unfortunate scenario. That passive not going to do much against Akshan as well. Not a lot of value being gained out of him right there. And then meanwhile, this volley just going to really be a menace. Volley's seeing a big spike in win and play rate due to just the way he synergizes with a lot of the new items. With their effects on them, just gets so much value out of it, and it's gonna be able to force this Gragas off the wave and potentially out of XP and CS.
First, level 2 achieved first by the side of DPS in the bot lane. Not gonna be able to get much out of it.
Yeah, really doing well. It's so weird to see Camille in support, but also to see it good early on, because typically Camille is seen as not that good of a character in top lane early on. You gotta wait for Camille to really kind of get online and scale, where she's just gonna chunk half your health with one double Q. And meanwhile, Jarvan going in on Ibis, trying to get the grappling hook away, is gonna be forced to flash to start things off here.
Why did Black Fate flash there? Why did J4 flash, I wonder? Oh, Chose almost getting passive popped in the bot lane, but it's gonna survive.
Yeah, really?
Oh, JK.
Oh, there it is. Gonna be able to protect him. Meanwhile, Ibis doing a lot to try and keep this Jarvan as far away as possible. And that's passive down on the Zac, so that's a pretty big thing heading in here.
A lot to everyone, there's no Vel'Koz. Ah, damn, how could you do this? Ooh.
Does get the taunt on the Akshan, but the Akshan has PTA fully procced, and it's just bombarding this Galio with everything that they have, really. And not a lot to answer for, because that magic shield only does so much against physical. It doesn't really do anything at all. Not a lot of value being gained out of it. Ibis gonna try and lurk in the shadows. Zac trying to see if they could jump this Galio here in mid. Let's see what comes out of it. Big hit right there. Is gonna find
nearby.
The knockup, force the flash away. Back in it goes.
Yeah, Zac
the
doesn't
Galio.
have
Chose forced the flash out.
Yeah.
I like the idea though. Getting aggressive early here in the mid lane.
I like that Akshan idea there. Staying invisible near the
Yeah.
wall. It's interesting.
Yeah, we take a look at the CS numbers across the board.
On the way, pings to the top lane.
Yeah, and this volley, you got to be careful though. Extended fights against volley is where volley excels at. So you got to layer this CC, and they do perfectly with that. Is able to get the heal, and then shield is back up. And this is what you have to be so worried about. This volley is so strong.
Ooh, he's not good. He's just not going down. Ooh.
Zac gets there in time. First blood in favor. And there is enough of bodies from DPS to pick up the double in the top lane. 2
Gonna help out
going
with
down on the
the,
side of Cat Cowboys, and
yeah.
1 going in favor of Gragas, the other in favor of Jarvan.
And here's the rotation over for the Grubs, the early Grubs. 5-minute support rotation for the Grubs.
Yeah, and Gragas really doing a great job of not letting Volley crash this wave. Volley, another one of those characters you don't really think is that good at split pushing. Meanwhile, Charybdis gonna do a flash
Look
E
at the, yeah.
onto Pigeon, picking up the kill, and just like that, Pigeon's down 2 early on here on the Volley. Really just focused play here for top lane. Flash down though on your support.
DPS back for blood, says Fierce Sparrow. Yeah, starting off 3-0, ahead about 1.5k here in the early game. That is going to be the Dragon traded off towards Cat Cowboys after saw DPS focus on the Grub, so they're going to do a little bit of a handshake there.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out, because we kind of had an opposite effect happen the last game. We had early kills go in favor of Cat Cowboys. Cat Cowboys secured Grubs, and then DPS secures Dragon. So now we've really had the opposite of that happen in this one. However, I think that the late game, yes, you have to Jinx on the side of DPS to keep an eye on, and Camille's going to be doing a ton of damage, but you just have so much tankiness out of and damage coming out of this Cat Cowboys team late. It might be too much for them to deal with. So I think them having this early advantage is what they need to really snowball in this one. Meanwhile, Lakey keeping his ADC protected, and Cho Saint misses the Q on the Zac. That is such an unfortunate miss right there. And really just great job there of layering on the CC and abilities there of DPS to pick up another kill.
Yeah, more kills going on to J4. We saw that the J4 picked up a lot of early kills last game too.
Yeah.
I would have preferred to see the kill go to the Jinx, but c'est la vie, it kind of be like that sometimes. Hopefully they'll be able to get some money and resources onto Jinx later into the game. We don't want to see all the kills on J4 yet again. J4 won't really scale as well until the late game, as obviously their carries.
Yeah, and then we also didn't really see a big damage number out of the Jarvan, despite having all those kills. So it was definitely something to keep in mind, and we're going to see Ibis ult to try and keep this Galio.
Here comes the squad.
Galio is going to fall right there, and Camille taking no tower shots right there. He's going to pick up the kill, however. And that's another thing you have to keep in mind. Yes,
I feel like Galio didn't need to die there. Galio, you could just back off. Like he was so low. He didn't have to back. He didn't have to die there. Your team had it.
But at the same time, though, the kill goes towards Camille, which, yes, it's Camille's support, but Camille's still going to absolutely chunk towards the latter part of this game. So that's something you also have to keep in mind. I mean, late game Camille
support, still a Camille.
Yeah, exactly. Still gonna be 2,000 true damage to the face. Like, not really much you're gonna be able to do there. Meanwhile, Akshan trying to get aggressive here. Taunt does come out. Hook fails to connect just to the right, and
good featsies there by Quegert.
Yeah, this Jarvan hunting yet again, and they're doing a great job of zoning Moitman off of the wave, but I think he's still going to be able to pick up the cannon here.
Sure, going to steal this away.
And farm for safety. And meanwhile, Zac going to be forced to jump away.
Zac did steal it though. Yep, Zac did steal it.
Was able to secure it. And we do have Grubs, I think, coming up fairly soon. Dragon's not up for another 2 minutes, so not really a lot to play for on the map here. And then meanwhile, I want to talk about something. Jarvan did not go Spear first like he did last game. Instead, he has now built Eclipse.
Interesting.
Very interesting approach. Remember, they did change Eclipse at the start of the season to be more bruiser-oriented. No longer gives lethality, only AD and haste. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, Camille going to go in. Ooh. Galio ultimate coming out as well. Moitman going to be forced to flash out of there. Lakey. Oh, Moitman shouldn't have stepped up right there, and it's going to be forced to flash by the Jarvan, who barely escapes with his life. And that's the rotate potential you get out of having Galio on your team. That
Yeah.
ultimate able to be everywhere all at once. However, you give up grubs on the other end, but I think that is worth to take out the ADC and
Yeah,
not.
for sure. Especially
let
since
them
they
get
already
into
since
this
they already
game.
got the first grubs. They're willing to split the grubs.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, Galio gonna output as much damage as possible. Ibis not quite
Ooh.
having that damage
Ooh.
online just quite yet. Never mind. We see the PTA synergy with this Akshan just
And the very
absolutely chunking
unique
down.
3-hit passive that no one else on League of Legends has. No one has a
No, no
3-hit
one.
passive.
What's
Yeah.
a 3-hit passive?
Yeah,
I've never heard
very
of those
unique.
before. Yeah, totally aren't giving the new rework character one as well. No, not at all. Right would never. But that proc with PTA, it just shreds so much health in such a short span of time. You don't really expect it. Then meanwhile, DTB come out, and then we
There's
see
another one.
Camille flash and ult as well, going to be able to lock it down. That Sean and now Chosate trying to run away, taunt barely missing. However, Galio chasing after as fast as possible, and is going to be able to just slingshot away to safety. And it looks like they're just going to burn this dragon and secure a Hextech Drake in their favor. Gonna be interesting to see what soul comes out of this game. I have a feeling if it's a Hextech soul, gonna be some interesting shenanigans with how mobile all these characters are, and it looks like it is going to be a Chem soul for this match. So gonna be interesting to see if Cat Cowboys can secure this. It's gonna be great for their team given how tanky they are. But of course, they have to also make it to that late game. Volley trying to farm as much as possible, despite being a whole item down on this Gragas chasing after him, but not really gonna be able to do much, especially with Phase Rush and the slow and Roa up, really just past the point of no return. You're gonna need your jungler's help if you want to kill this Gragas, essentially. Does pick up a decent bit
Yeah.
of trade in his favor, but now Jarvan getting aggressive
Down
on
a
to-
level.
Yeah, down a level, but also up a whole item. Zach only has one, and the Jinx Rocket connects, but it's not enough, and it wouldn't matter anyway. He had his passive. Yeah, really interesting play style from both these teams. I think Cat Cowboys is electing to wait for this
Oh,
for
two
this
people
latter
are
half,
here.
and then meanwhile,
I
Akshan
missed
gonna
to
get
see it,
spotted
but-
out
yeah.
and ruins the fun. But then we see that Camille creeping up towards there, so that's something to keep an eye on. And meanwhile, take a look at the econ on both these sides. Full items on everyone on the side of DPS, and then meanwhile, only one person has the full item built on Cat Cowboys.
Yep, that'll be Mointment with the not
Minimune.
fully, yeah, with the Man Moon, not fully charged yet.
And it looks like they're gonna elect to try and control this dragon vision, setting it up, but still plenty of time until the next dragon.
Oh,
And Gragas just gets
Belly
absolutely
flop good, completely missed
absolutely sidestepped right there. Galio trying to dash on and have that Jarvan in the vicinity, but great job there to recognize that potential. And now Rift Herald going to be burnt down by DPS. Can they secure this? No one on Cat Cowboys in the vicinity, so it's going to be a free Herald for the side of DPS. Going to allow them really to compound the lead that they already have, potentially be able to get an entire turret and maybe more from it. Be interesting to see what they do with this. Yeah, Akshan gonna go in. Look at that damage coming out from Galio. Just so much, and Akshan just
Woo!
too far up there. Just gets absolutely deleted. Chos ain't trying to stay alive. isn't going to be able to do just that. Passive is going to split him, but no one in the vicinity there for Cat Cowboys. And Camille trying to do a little bit of work. Charybdis going to take a tower shot, but otherwise be fine. And that is one turret down, and now they're going to elect to go for more. With Jinx and Herald on their side, they might be able to get tier 3 here.
Look for more.
Yeah, Charybdis also picking up a kill right there. That's that Camille support ability right there. And now we see the Rift Herald being ridden by the Jarvan, going to be able to chunk out that tower, but I think that's where you cut your losses. Not quite going to be able to get that tier.
Now a 10-1 kill lead and a 5k gold lead for DPS here at 15 minutes. Does look pretty solid start here. The dragon is spawning soon. We'll see that dragon is spawning a little bit under a minute. DPS has arrived, says definitely defiant. Looking game 3, it says old sad boy in the chat. Hey, the game isn't over yet, but this is a very nice lead for DPS.
Yeah, and right now, bounties across the board except for the Gragas for DPS. So good value for Cat Cowboys to get back in this one. And very easily, with the entire team fight going their way, they could just be ahead in gold. So definitely going to be something to keep an eye on as we head into this one. And now, as this dragon is going to be contested, we're going to see both teams start to flood all their members towards it. See what they can do. Camille going to go in onto this Nautilus, who is alone. No one on Cat Cowboys. The volley's going to TP, but it's going to be too late. Already fallen. And now Akshan going to find one, but immediately die right afterwards. Jinx with the passive. Just a bunch of damage right there. The Galio as well. The Flash Q going to come out. And the last bit of damage onto this Akshan is going to do the job. Triple kill for this Jinx.
An
and
ace.
Right now,
it's not even more of a lead. Now 15-2.
Storming ahead to victory.
15-2. 5-1 trade there. They're going to be able to pick up the second dragon of the game as well. Their second dragon of the game.
Yeah, and bad connection really just absolutely popping off in this one. 5-0-5 with a 500 shutdown. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal. But we look at this. Look at the CS numbers on the jungle side. I mean, not a lot for this Jarvan, but it doesn't really matter because he's just
2-1. He has 14. He has 14 out of 15 KP, so it does not matter.
Yeah, exactly. He's been getting his teammates ahead. Meanwhile, the Zax has been electing the power farm, trying to play for this late game. But you got to be careful about that because you don't want that to get away.
That's not Zach's strength. That's not what Zach. I think Zach is pretty good at getting early ganks out. He's fantastic ganking with his E. I don't think he necessarily. He is 0-3-0 right now with 0 KP. Not exactly what you want to see. Oh, we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, Gragas combo going to come out. Not too worrying for Ibis. It's going to be able to catapult out of that one. Try and farm. Another thing you have to keep in mind though as well is late game this Akshan is also just going to shred. They're essentially running double DPS, double ADC on the side of Cat Cowboys. So just going to absolutely be able to chunk out late game. But again, you have to get to that late point. And meanwhile, Havoc Pigeon, 4 in the top lane. No one around there to help him out. Cat Cowboys just seems like there's no one in the vicinity to help them out. Meanwhile, Zach going to go in. We see Moitman try and output some DPS, but not quite going to be enough. Going to try and ult away shield. It gives him enough to kill the Camille, but it's not quite enough. Zach staying alive. Akshan, big revive there to bring back 2 of his teammates who can try and make it over there in time. Zach doing so much to try and get in the vicinity of this Galio. Just sitting on so much gold, just night and day compared to what we saw last game.
Oh, yeah.
Really just phenomenal job there.
Super interesting.
Really saves the game with those revives by that Akshan. And again, you were talking about it early on there. The Akshan has potential to be so massive in comps and in competitive. We just don't see him a lot because the character itself is just not the best.
This may not have been the greatest moment for it. Like this right now, like that was good. But like whenever the game's like 30-40 minutes long and those depth timers are like a minute, and then Akshan, just like then that's whenever it's amazing. Oh, I did not expect. Oh, Quaker's definitely gonna die here, but I did not expect Quaker to actually get that 1v1 versus Akshan.
The money goes to buffs.
Exactly who Cat Cowboys wants it to go on. So
I was about to say big shutdown going in favor of Kaisa, but the Galio buffs as well have really helped propel this forward because Galio just does so much damage now. And is Volley going to be able to get the back off? No, he can't. He almost did. Going to try and ult out of there, but it's just going to fall right there. This Jinx is just absolutely just melting every member of the Cat Cowboys right now.
2-item Jinx. They're going to try to rotate this into a Baron.
They very easily can. No one on Cat Cowboys in the vicinity to try and stop them, nor do they have the damage to stop them in this one as well, with just Jinx in general being as strong as they are. And then meanwhile, TP going to come out on the side of the DPS.
They're not going to stop doing the Baron. The Baron at about half HP here.
Yeah, Akshan going to ult to try and chunk down this Gragas a bit, but not really doing
Zach
much.
thinking about it.
Zach.
No, he thought about it.
He almost got it. Not really, though. And now that's just going to be clean up here with Baron buff, and it's just gonna. There we go. Someone finally dying. Took long enough. Galio is going to fall. Akshan with the revive. Spinning around. Kaiso with one. Can he find another? Not quite. It is a
Jinx
triple.
wasn't taken down.
Yeah,
so Jinx was
exactly.
alive.
Jinx being the problem child once again. Picking up a triple. And we see Moitment with a double. And just like that, all of Cat Cowboys except... Wait, Zach lived? Oh, no, he got revived. I was going to say, there's no way Zach survived all of that. Like... But I forgot he got revived by Akshan passive. So...
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Meanwhile, I want to take a look at this gold draft. Nearly 10K in favor of DPS. I mean, they've been absolutely just everywhere in this one. It feels like Cat Cowboys kind of disconnected in this game. Really not on the same page as each other, and are kind of just existing in lane. I don't know. It's very different than what we saw in the last game. You might have different thoughts on that, but I don't know.
No, it is.
Like,
this is different than what we saw from last game. Let's see. We're preparing for the third jacket of the game. They are here to try and contest it. Volibear is not here. Volibear does not have teleport, so it won't be a 5v4 if they do contest it.
Yeah, Akshan ultimate gonna come out here. Gragas gonna block their shot. Zach gonna try and steal it, and he does. Objective bounty in favor of there. Now, Volibear has a chance to add more gold to the rest of his team. So if they can weather the storm in this one, Cat Cowboys can come close to closing that gap in gold lead. And Volley, another one of those characters, really good with split push. Not only can he disable the towers, but the passive as well is so good to stack up on these towers and get value out of it. And there we are, another objective bounty going to be claimed in favor of Cat Cowboys as
but they do have a Baron buff here.
Both leads down about 1,000. We're gonna see
ultimate. Oh boy.
And this Jinx is just gonna clean house right now, and just absolutely deleted those people in the terminal.
Still very, very healthy. Doing a lot of damage. Does have 3 items now. Gonna try to rotate now to the bot lane, it looks like. See if they can catch him on the rotation. We do have some half HP. We do have Moitman still poking from afar. They're gonna hit. Instead, they're gonna choose to recall.
Ooh, Chip Saint tried it, and now Camille's gonna go in.
Zach went a little bit too far.
Okay. Zach ultimate's just not gonna really matter against.
Yeah, they were recalling. They were like, "Wait, is this Zach alone? Kill him!"
Yeah, no, it's just no chance there, and I mean, just full control by DPS in that game. And I imagine we're heading to a game number 3.
I would say it's not over till it's over, but yeah, I'd imagine that you're probably right.
Yeah, if I was a betting man,
I
would be putting money on DPS to take this game too. I think the biggest issue was just
very solid
not getting your carries online fast enough and letting the Jinx scale.
Yeah. Jinx scaling is always going to happen. I think there's a big difference too in the mid lane. I think we were just seeing very strange gameplay from Quaker. I think in that game 1 where the Orianna was just kind of dying on repeat in kind of questionable ways, And we didn't really
Yeah.
see that here. Very solid play, very solid on the Galio in this game, kind of made the difference. And then we saw J4 was like super aggressive for ganking a ton, which at first I thought was going to be like to the detriment, but actually ended up being super useful. Now we see with 24
Yeah.
assists, did do a good job. But now eventually those kills were not going to J4, went where they were supposed to, get the gold in the right hands, the gold being in Jinx's hands for a lot of time, then able to capitalize on objectives and do some good macro rotations and everything like that. So I think well played here from DPS. Not too many like terrible mistakes that I could see or anything from the other side. I think they were just well played for DPS. They have a solid comp. The comps are relatively both solid. And I mean, when you get a Jinx this far ahead, this is really rough to deal with. And then especially with the team comp around her, if you have like these people that can peel as well. And
Yeah.
then also the Camille. The Camille did a lot. The Camille
Yeah, I take
roamed
back what I
early.
said.
Camille had a lot
I-
of good roams, a lot of good roams in the top lane. The E flash that led to some early kills just kind of really helped the snowball get going.
Yeah, and that's really what Camille excels in as a support is turning these situations in favorable for
If
your
anything,
team.
if there was something, I would say maybe you could have seen Nautilus try to roam more to match the Camille or just kill Jinx. while
Oh,
Camille's
this
not
volley
there.
bear's getting jumped.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely
Hey, what's good,
deleted.
Moitman? Are you sure you want
Yeah,
to come through?
Ointment ulted on. The Camille Galio combo as well is just
Yeah,
such an underrated
Oh boy.
combo as well. You lock them in place with your ultimate. They can't do anything about it. Is this a kill? Onto the Camille? It is. Nautilus is going to be able to pick up a kill here, but that's kind of just like a Mickey Mouse kill, if you will. Not really doing anything to help the team, as the rest of your team is pretty much dead. And DPS, with Jinx in hand, just going to demolish all these turrets and cruise towards victory. Yeah, Chosane just absolutely deleted.
And there it is.
Yep.
GG, game 2 goes to DPS. We are going to a game number 3.
Yeah, really just phenomenal job. They played to their strengths really, really well and rode off the Galio combos with the Jarvan and the Camille ults, just absolutely punishing Cat Cowboys for taking any form of a team fight at all.
The most damage that is done, unsurprisingly, and the game unsurprisingly dealt by the Jinx doing 33,000 damage. Next up was the Galio doing 22,000 damage, and then the most damage on the side of Cat Cowboys was the Kaisa doing 20,000. So just overall, wire-to-wire victory here from DPS in game 2, and we will see what adjustments happen for game 3 whenever we'll be right back.
I'm reaching out, cause I cannot fight this feeling anymore. Feels like I've been blown away. I'm pushing out, we're not running round in circles anymore. Feels like I've been blown away, and I won't do it again. No, 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 I won't do it again. No, 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 I won't do it again. And I won't do it again. And I won't do it again. I'm reaching out, 'cause I cannot fight this feeling anymore. Feels like I've been blown away. I'm pushing out, we're not running round in circles anymore. Feels like I've been blown away, and I won't do it again. No, 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 I won't do it again. No, 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 and I won't do it again. And I won't do it again. These words won't get through to me when I'm not listening. These words are no use, no telling me, is this worth risking? And I won't do it again. It's contagious. Tell me, do you feel it too? Mr. Magician, tricking me to loving you. Turning pages, looking for something new. But the rain is stopping me from pulling through. I'm gonna take a deep breath, cut the loving in two. 'Cause I'm needing nothing, coming straight there from you. I'm gonna take a deep breath, cut the loving in two. 'Cause I'm needing nothing. Oh, Mr. Magician, your trickery is fine. Mr. Magician, I want you to be mine. Mr. Magician, you're calling out my spine. Mr. Magician, I want you to be mine. No. It's tradition for you to fall in love with me. I had a vision, one that you could never see. Hearing voices, tell me, do you hear them too? So many choices, they're telling me what to do. No, I'm gonna take a deep breath, cut the loving in two. 'Cause I'm needing nothing, coming straight there from you. I'm gonna take a deep breath, cut the loving in two. 'Cause I'm needing nothing. Oh, Mr. Magician, your trickery is fine. Mr. Magician,
Okay, and here we are in game 3 between the Cowboys and DPS. DPS was blue side game 1, so they get side select in game 3, and they chose to be on the red side for this game. Makes sense as they did just win on the red side. We'll see how the draft looks for game 3, and it looks like Cowboys are immediately banning out that J4 that we see DPS have successful one in game 1 and game 2. They lost game 1, but Jarvan did have a lot of success in that first game still.
Yeah, I really
So it makes
did,
sense.
and I would be able to get a lot more access and tell a lot more if I could see the draft.
Oh, did I not give you the?
No.
Oh, my
No,
bad. My bad.
You're good. You're good.
I forgot to do that, I suppose. There it is.
But yeah,
there's a draft
no,
link for
not
game.
a surprise out of Cowboys at all. That Jarvan's been wreaking havoc. Galio as well, just such a strong champ right now after that buff, and really showed it in that last game. I mean, he was absolutely everywhere, absolutely commanding, just dealing tons of damage, never dying it seemed, and it was the bane of a lot of Cowboys' existence right there.
Yeah, makes sense. Banning out the We're going to see what we see for B1. We're going to see the Sejuani picked up yet again. For Cowboys, we saw that they did have some success with Sejuani in game 1. Going to go back to it here in game 3.
Yeah, I like to go with the tankier junglers. It's interesting choice, but it worked out for them in game 1, especially with the Sejuani able to lock down a lot. The ultimate, such a good engage tool. Really can just fly out of nowhere, and Jinx sneaks through again for DPS, along with Zac being picked up.
They're going to take the Zac.
Yeah, interesting choice
like,
there.
Yeah,
but
like,
Zac,
I see what you did with the Zac. Now watch me play it.
yeah, exactly. Zac is also one of those characters you can flex.
True.
In top lane as well. Just so much sustain out of the Zac to stay alive up there, and could really lead to success. But typically we see Zac picked in jungle. We see Varus being picked up
We're
here.
going to go away
poke.
from the Kaisa that we've seen Moitman play, really enjoy playing.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go to the Varus. Varus also a very strong character. One of those characters that, again, can also kind of do like a bit of a hybrid build or do different types of builds here. And definitely a late game carry, potentially.
Yeah, and Braum being the support choice as well is something I absolutely love right here. Because it prevents this Jinx from sieging down this Varus, and it really allows Varus to free fire from behind him with this sword up, and then it's going to be a Milio pickup from
pretty good
DPS.
with Jinx.
It's great with Jinx, however, very, very squishy here early on against a poke Varus. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on in the early days, is if Jinx is going to be able to get online like they did in the last one. But Zac as well, as a pickup, really allows DPS to kind of stay aggressive with their jungler, who really just ganked constantly in that last game and found great success with it. And we see the Gragas ban as well come out from Cowboys. That pretty much expected out of them.
Did not appreciate playing against the Gragas last game.
No one ever does.
I'd assume, yeah.
I understand it, man.
You can see the Arya again. Also did not appreciate playing against the Arya earlier, and we are still betting away that Gnar Havoc Pigeon getting the respect from last week on that Gnar.
Yeah, and Gnar again. I touched on it earlier. Gnar being Seraphine, an interesting man. Okay.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Botlane's already been banned out. But
meant
okay.
to be Seraphine? Was that a misclick?
No, I think they were talking about how the mid laner for DPS plays Seraphine mid sometimes. So, which
all right, fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
But we do see Cassiopeia be picked up as well, which very
Save counter pick for top lane for Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, it could be top lane, could be mid, could be
I
nowhere
guess,
else. It's one of those two lanes. I don't think it's anywhere else.
It's a flex these days as well.
I mean, Cassiopeia in team fights is really good with that ultimate. The problem is you gotta hit it. If you don't, you just are kind of there in the front line.
It's not too hard to hit. You just got to be near people. Hey,
yeah, and a lot of
Victor.
poke on Cowboys. Victor. This is a lot of poke between Varus and Victor and Sedge. just so much poke coming out of this Cat Cowboys team. They could delete someone from a mile away before the team fight even starts. It'll be interesting to see what they pick in the top lane to compensate for this.
This game going 35 plus. See the scaling cap.
Oh,
and
it's Renekton.
Then we got Renekton with Sejuani. Maybe not so
Cody.
25 plus. We'll see. Maybe happens in the top lane.
Yeah, Renekton receiving some buffs as well recently. Really adding on to kind of a weak area for the character. Saw a spike in strength towards the end of last season. And then wasn't able to do anything. And then Aatrox on the side of DPS. I am loving this top lane matchup because it could go either way. Yes, it is Aatrox favored, but Renekton still is just such a strong character to keep in mind.
Especially
So
with,
much healing
with the
from
Sejuani,
these
if we
guys.
see some early game pressure, I think Sejuani and Renekton are pretty good together. So Renekton pretty good at stacking Sejuani passive.
Yeah, I think this Cat Cowboys team is set up really well. If they can weather the storm from the Jinx this time and not let her get ahead, because they have so much poke to just delete people from far away. And then Renekton just goes in, dashes to the back line, stuns them, and the cleanup crew with Victor and Varus just pokes out that Jinx from a mile away. So I'm excited to see this. Not a lot of mobility to shut down for this Cassiopeia, but still a strong pick, especially early on.
Yeah, if anything, you can stop Renekton double dash. Could be useful.
Yeah.
Or Sejuani's dash for it.
Plus, good team fighting ultimate as well.
I guess Braum jumping back or forward. I guess there's a few things. A few things.
Sejuani as well.
Yeah. There's a few things.
But Sejuani dash isn't super important for Kit.
Yeah,
it's mostly
gonna
disengage.
throw out the ulti first.
Yeah. I'm liking these team comps though. I wasn't a big fan of DPS in the last one, but they made it work really well. So I'm excited to see what the Jinx especially can do in this one. Turned out just absolutely destroyed game 2 and allowed them to get the win. Yeah, this Milio I feel like is gonna have a problem in this bot lane. Because Braum also has a little bit of poke added to him. But this Varus as well is just gonna rain fire down onto this Milio. So I think they're gonna rely a lot on Zac to allow them to get to that mid and late area where Milio really excels at.
You don't think Milio will be fine in lane?
I'm not a big Milio guy. I don't think Milio is that good. I know he's really good at the higher levels, but every time I've seen like teams that I support, like my schools or teams that like I follow play him, he just does nothing. It feels like, but I don't know. I haven't seen too much Milio, but from what I've seen, so. But should be, Zac is one of those junglers that you're allowed to just constantly gank on. Jarvan's another one that really helps enable that as well.
We definitely saw that before.
Yeah, so I expect to see that Zac in bot lane a lot, helping Milio and Jinx get to that mid and late game area.
Yeah, I mean, you want resources on Jinx for sure. I don't know. I think Milio's pretty good at disengage and pretty good at enabling Jinx to kind of stay healthy throughout the lane. So I don't think they need to. So also, they don't have great like gank assists. Like Gileo doesn't have like great CC to help set up a gank by
to lock it down.
Yeah, so I'm like, I would expect, since Sejuani is probably going to pay some attention to top lane, I expect Zac to try to also pay some attention to top lane. I feel like that matchup can end up being pretty snowbally if one side ends up getting pretty far ahead. And I think
Yeah.
you do have to try to react to what the enemy jungle is doing. So I would expect maybe some type of pressure in the top side, but I don't exactly know. You know, it could happen either way.
And
The
plus,
mid laners are
Jinx-
probably mostly going to farm.
Yeah. And plus, Jinx can only stay so healthy as a Renekton double dashes on and chugs half the health with 2 abilities.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't want the Renekton getting too far ahead. Renekton is an early game champ, and so definitely think there'd be some type of focus.
Good
on
early,
the
late
side.
game just becomes a stun bot.
Yeah, exactly.
But still useful late to lock down the back line as well. Fantastic backline access. I would say some of the best in the biz from a top lane standpoint. So definitely gonna be interesting to see how that top lane matchup plays out early on, because Aatrox is so strong with the Divine Sunder or Sunder Sky and passive auto. Like, he just heals for so much.
True. We'll have to see what happens here. I wonder what happens if they'll do any level 1s if they have a Braum.
Yeah, they
Once
could.
against
They
the
very
Braum,
well
it's
could.
pretty good.
Varus there
Braum and a
does a
Sejuani.
decent amount early on. Sejuani take the slow. Yeah, they could go for an invade. I think their level 1 is slightly better
Yeah.
than that of DPS's.
Let's see how if DPS is ready for that, if they were planned for that. Either way, we'll see them on the Rift soon as we prepare to load, and we just gotta wait for the spectator delay. And looks like my advertising button is working this time. So while we are here in the wait, I'm going to play the 1 minute of ads to turn off ad pre-rolls, and we will see you guys when the spectator delay is over. We'll be back, meet you back on the road for Game 3 between Cowboys and DPS.
You've applied the pressure to have me crystallized, and you got the faith that I could bring paradise. I'll forgive and forget before I'm paralyzed. Do I have to keep up this pace to keep you satisfied? You don't move slow, taking steps in my direction. The sound sounds echoes. Does it lessen your affection? No. You sail
Okay, are you paused at 5? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
you loaded
Yeah,
in,
I'm
paused at
plus
5?
5.
All
Yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah, plus 5.
fantastic, fantastic. All right,
Sorry.
let me do the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You with me?
Yep.
13,
Good.
14. All right, then let's get into our third and final match. Payne Ladden, thank you for the Prime subscription. And welcome to our final match and of the day and our final game of our final match of the day. This is game 3 between Cat Cowboys and DPS. Cat Cowboys winning game 1, DPS striking back in game 2.
Yeah, really just phenomenal job by DPS to kind of shake off that unfortunate game 1 and get to victory. And force a game 3. And meanwhile, I think this is going to go down to the wire. I think this is going to be a 35 40-minute game even in this one. I mean, both these comps have the potential in them to make it to this late game point. And if they do, it's gonna be some spicy stuff going on.
Yeah, this game may seep into April Fools.
Yeah,
If it ends up being a bit of a long match, it's actually quite likely that on the Eastern Coast it'll be April Fools by the time this match is over.
yeah. This was never actually real. This is all an elaborate setup.
Yeah.
Uh,
About to experience the best joke of BTL.
yeah, exactly.
It'd be crazy if we end up having one of our classic BTL crazy finishes in this game.
Yeah,
If it happens right at the stroke of midnight, it'd be fantastic.
I've heard from Gavin. There's been some heaters so far. So
We've had some very interesting finishes, yeah.
I do think Aatrox has the advantage against Renekton, but I could be wrong. I'm not. It's been a while since I've played that matchup, so. But meanwhile, we see how far back Lakey and Moitman are playing this right now, and that's exactly what they need to do with this Braum Varus combo. Just poke out the bot lane for DPS, not allow them to really get anything going on, and then meanwhile, Pigeon hitting level 2 before Mr. Krabs trying to deal a bit more damage than normal, but Renekton really doesn't come online until that level 3 moment, so something to keep in mind as we head in towards the third wave hitting the top.
And we'll see if we see some action. There is a vision ward there, so they do know that Zach is in the area, I believe. Zach is going to go
But
ahead and
meanwhile,
hit the recall button.
is Cassiopeia really not able to do much in this mid lane? I think if they're gonna win this game, it's gonna be through this Victor, because Victor's damage is not something you want to
Similar to
sleep on
game one.
at all.
Yeah.
It
Great skill.
if he gets ahead, it could be an issue for this DPS side. Now we see Aatrox Q3 combo does miss, unfortunately. Now W is going to connect, but Renekton still has dash up to be able to escape there. So Renekton really doing a great job of avoiding those Q1, or avoiding that Q2 and Q3.
Yeah.
But still, that passive auto from Aatrox is just so much damage and heals him for so much when it's up against a champion.
Yeah, nothing too crazy so far. 4 minutes in. About to see maybe the first gank. Sejuani on the way,
looking.
but looks like Aatrox is wiser. The wiser for it. Gonna see some trades in the mid lane. Kind of still going in the favor of Victor. Zach potentially looking for something, but Sejuani is not far behind. There is Zach gonna get the flash out of the Victor. And they're happy with that. That's all they want. Like, all right, we'll get the flash. We'll come back. We'll do something later. On the way,
Yeah,
picks
exactly.
from Sejuani, but it looks like Cassiopeia is going to go ahead and back up and take the recall. Happy with what they got there.
Yeah, really, really slow compared to the first two games. In this one,
Yeah.
both the games were just absolutely flying, and we haven't really seen much of anything in this game. I think that top lane skirmish right there was some of the most action that we've had this entire game. So, Uh, right now, this Renekton really doing a great job of managing this wave, crashing, able to full crash onto this Aatrox, force him to miss a little bit of CS. We'll see how much
Hmm.
he's able to keep out of this, and he's going to be able to back for free for a Warhammer in this one.
Let's see, they teleport to the top lane from the Renekton. Renekton teleport will be used here. I'm not sure. Aatrox, let's see if Aatrox pings that so his teammates know. Aatrox probably going to be used to forced to use their his teleport as well. Going to get the recall here, and we'll see if they opt to teleport back to the lane.
I don't know. Pigeon should be able to set
early
up
dragon.
a good
being started
freeze, and then
here.
yeah, it looks like that poke pressure hasn't really allowed DPS to back
Okay,
up
this
off.
is going to go to the grubs then.
Yeah, I would say that's typically what we've seen in this series so far. Meanwhile, both top laners have their ults. And
Ooh.
another thing to note, oh, this stun barely connects on the Cassiopeia, but no damage there available for
Well,
Ibis.
is Zach gonna get caught out here?
I think Zach
Has
just dashed
done
away.
the second one. Okay, Mr. Krabs is here as well. Okay, they do not have priority in the mid lane, but should be just fine to get this third grub. All three of these grubs are gonna go to Zach. All right, so they're gonna do the handshake yet again of trading the dragon for
Yep.
the grubs.
And like what I was talking earlier about me not being crazy on the grubs, if you don't have to give up a lot for it,
Yeah, I mean they're
I'm
obviously
okay with it.
useful. Yeah.
granted, a infernal Drake buff into a Varus is something you want to keep an eye on, because if he gets one or more out of this game, that's going to be something you start to worry about a bit
Oh yeah, yeah.
if you are the side of DPS, because that Varus will just start one-shotting your DPS, your ADC, and your mid laner. So
We'll see that the
definitely
next
got to be
buff
careful
will
about
be
that.
a cloud, so we won't have an infernal soul. Maybe we'll have, I don't know. What do you think the soul will be? It
Could be
won't
later
cloud.
on.
It won't be cloud. It won't be infernal.
So it could be Ocean, Chemtech, Mountain.
Yeah. Be interesting to see an ocean. I don't think we've seen an ocean
Yeah.
today yet.
We see that buffed healing out of Renekton right there, just
Oh,
doing so much
someone's
damage. And
going
meanwhile,
down. Zach is going down. But
Zach
the,
just got
the
deleted,
bot
and
lane is
now
here. Oh, but Quackert is
the
low
next
as
victim,
well.
Cassiopeia, is gonna.
Oh, the flash heal
How?
though. Flash heal from Charybdis to
How did
save
Cassiopeia
Cassiopeia's
live
life.
that? First blood went in favor of Victor, but how did they not secure the kill on the Cassiopeia?
Well, there was the flash heal from Charybdis.
But even before that,
Yeah, before that he was super low as well. That's true.
unfortunate
Of course,
mistake there
Cassiopeia
from Cat Cowboys, but they
has
do get
small
first blood.
amounts of healing as well whenever she hits her E onto something that has poison on it, I think, if I remember correctly. Ooh! Oh,
Jinx
is able to
Rocket.
get it, though.
Yeah, that's the flash
Just
for it though. But
Jinx.
you want to get that Jinx online as fast
Yep.
as possible,
Yep.
and that is.
Not to get
You
gold on
still
Jinx.
have you still have cleanse available for your bot laner, but again, Whiteman just farming on this Varus. Gonna both bot laners really gonna be a threat in this in the latter stage of this game for sure.
Yep. Looks like it's probably going to be on hit. Yeah, it's definitely on hit virus, so it is going to scale very well.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, even AP Varus scales super well because he just deletes someone from the game.
Yeah.
But Pigeon has done a really good job in what is kind of a rough matchup to stay alive. I say that right as he's about to die.
Oh, well,
But-
we'll see.
oh,
Not
the
dead yet.
healing.
Not dead yet. Not dead yet. Okay, is dead.
There it is. Yeah. Ultimate on Aatrox, Zach ultimate. Lots of healing from all three of those, and yeah, bit unfortunate there. Sorry, Pigeon, for the caster curse right there.
Right.
Happens so often. But before that moment, he was doing a really great job of just being able to farm, staying alive, not giving this Aatrox a lot to work off of, because Aatrox is kind of similar to Olaf in regards of you want to get ahead early, because if you don't, it's going to be rough for you early on. It's not going to be terrible, as we saw Olaf have success still, but it's harder for the character to function. And Moitman with a really unfortunate ult right there. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, it happens.
Meanwhile, we take a look at the CS numbers. This Zach constantly has been behind in farm since game 1. Is behind in this game as well. And with not as much value from the ganks coming out.
Oh,
Jinx
flashing over the rocket,
over.
though.
What a play by Ibis. Oh my goodness. The flash over the Jinx rocket and able to get full combo back out on the Cassiopeia for a solo bolo right there. Just really phenomenal job. And meanwhile, it looks like Cowboys are going to be able to secure these grubs away.
Okay, so they're going to split
from.
them. Will this be a handshake, and will they do the handshake and get the dragon? We'll
seems
see.
like
Bot lane may attempt to contest them.
No.
Maybe 2v3. Lakey is going to look up and seem potentially interested.
Yeah.
Just to keep them in vision,
They
I
handshake.
suppose. Yeah, they're going to handshake it. So, yeah, trading the early grubs and the dragon. And it is an Ocean Soul. I've been so good at predicting these recently.
Yeah, Ocean Soul is big for DPS in this one. Look how much healing they have on their side. You have the healing from Aatrox, the healing from Zac, the healing, the team healing.
Yeah,
and meanwhile, Aatrox gonna be forced to ult out of there to escape from. And then meanwhile, the ultimate is gonna be used by Milio, but that Varus is just gonna do so much damage. But the healing from the Zac gonna be enough to stay alive in this one.
But here
Linky
comes
gonna pick up the kill. Now teleport. Gonna be
Teleport.
coming out from the Victor. Should be a kill here by the Victor. It is, and now that Victor is starting to turn into a problem. 3-1 with a whole item down already.
D1 and Victor like double accelerates, because not only does he, of course, being ahead on kills makes you get more money, but also gets more of his passive.
Yep, exactly. And we already see him with the upgraded beam there.
Yep.
Just absolutely chunking out the members of DPS right there. So really a 2 for 2. Or was that 2 for 2? No, it was a 1 for 2.
Yeah, I think it was 1 for 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So bit unfortunate there by DPS. Looked great,
Pretty
but a
even
phenomenal
overall
teleport.
here. I think it's our even game at 12 minutes so
very
far.
close. Which don't want to say I called it, but I called it. Yeah, really just very opposite of the first game of the series. First game, it was just fights left and right.
Yeah.
Not really being able to talk about strategies in this one. And meanwhile, this one has been quite slow compared to the other games that we've had. This Jinx still sitting at 0-1 and 2, or 1-0 and 2, so still not terrible, but not as good of a spot as the Jinx was in last time. But as we know, it just takes one team fight to get Jinx back in it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. These top laners still smacking each other up.
Yeah,
Aatrox
Aatrox
really
has
starts
reached
to do a
that
lot of
mid-game
damage,
point
yeah.
where he is so strong at. It doesn't elect for Divine or Thunder Sky, excuse me, which is quite interesting. Because that, when combined with his passive, is so good.
Looks like they're
Meanwhile,
looking for a
Sejuani gonna
dive
try and
here.
catch this Jinx out. Questionable decision. Is gonna find the Varus ult, but
they're
is
going
gonna
for
get
more.
cleansed immediately. But then there's the Brahmo, and Moitman gonna clean up the flash from Sedge. Is it gonna be enough damage? It
goes
is.
down.
Double kill for Moitman, and now this Varus looking like a great pick here for Cowboys.
Very aggressive here, getting the dive, but getting both kills. So a
And
good
look at
play
this
here
damage from the
Cowboys.
Victor. Oh my goodness.
Victor continues to be 3-1.
Yeah, this
Gregor
Victor
is
just
still
chunking
fighting.
out.
He's still gonna fight.
Two
it.
abilities deals
Yeah.
half the health of this Cassiopeia.
Krieger down 900 gold here. Lakey is here looking for something as well. See if the Brahma is able to do something. I think Krieger's just going to be able to
No
back off.
ultimate
We'll
for
see the Rift Herald, I believe, will get taken by Zach. Zach's going to get the Rift Herald. Does get the Rift Herald. See where they use that. They could try to push this top lane tower down. Zach is pathing towards top, but so is Sejuani. Sejuani is here.
Yeah,
This may be a big mistake. This may
There's
be a
also
big
no
mistake.
wave as well.
Yep, okay, it's gonna get gonna get canceled. They're gonna look for
He
Sejuani.
does have passive.
Yeah, this is not good. Victor is here first as well. Zach, gonna have to try to get out of here. They don't want to fight this fight.
Yeah, Aatrox's going to be forced to ult out of there to escape. Great job there of keeping that top lane secure. Jinx Rocket going to sail into the great beyond right there. Not really connecting with anything. And right now, this Sejuani very far up.
Back up pings from the,
I
blue
think,
team here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Chess ain't realized that and dipped out of there. But right now, Cowboys having the advantage, and I think it's in part to this poke that they've been able to get out of the mid and bot, really helping propel them to this early lead.
Yeah, Victor and Varus are ahead at this stage of the game. Victor ahead about 800 on their lane opponents, and looks like Varus ahead even more, ahead about 1.2k ahead of Jinx.
Yeah, and
We
then
may see the first type of team fight here around this dragon. Looks like 4 people, 8 members of the map are around the dragon. If DPS do want to contest, it does look like Cowboys is in the pole position. They are there first. They are the ones that have control of the area. Looks like DPS may just be giving it up, and DPS is going to give it up. What are they going to do instead? They're going to clear a wave in the mid lane. Will they push for the tower? It does not look like it. They are going to walk away. Okay, they're not going to get nothing. They're going to get nothing there.
yeah, Rift Herald coming out in the middle of the river. Looks like it's gonna be a top lane dive,
Interesting.
and Pigeon realizing that
What?
is gonna just
What?
escape. What is happening?
What was that? Was that on accident?
It had to have been.
Oh no. Oh no, then they're gonna, and then Chase is just gonna die by themselves, so they get nothing out of the Rift Herald, and now Jinx is left alone. Lynx is gonna get dived. That's another kill going over to the Victor. DPS falling apart right there. And then Mr. Krabs is teleporting here, but this was a terrible teleport.
Teleport.
Whoa!
What are you doing?
Hey, DPS falling apart right here after using
What is happening?
so many
This is
question
not the
mark
DPS of
pigs.
last game.
So many question mark pigs right here. It was relatively close, and now here at 17 minutes, DPS making just a mistake after mistake after mistake. Is this going to be someone else going
This is gonna
down?
be another kill.
Black Fate is going to get his Possipap. Could potentially die here. Oh, that's a huge ultimate from Cracker.
Oh, that's a massive
Oh,
castle.
that's going to be a shutdown on the Victor. Looking for more. The Jinx, okay, they're going to get some kills. Moitman now unstoppable. Kreger looking for more. Black Fate looking for more. Will they be able to get some kills onto your back connection? A double kill for Moitman. Moitman is going to go down. UBC versus the Havoc Pigeon now. A shutdown for the Jinx.
Oh.
Jinx is excited. Mr. Krabs is on the way. And
Yeah,
okay,
Redacted,
and Havoc Record's
yeah.
gonna pass. Okay, well, it was
What a fight.
a lot of things that's happened in the past 2 minutes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was absolutely wild to see.
It was still a lot of mistakes on DPS's part, but they ended up trading some
And
things
to
back.
think all of that started off with a terrible Rift Herald.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. That Rift Herald.
I
I'm
think
sure
it was
a
expiring.
mistake.
That's why they had to
Was
use
it
it.
expiring already? It felt like he
It
just
had
got it.
to have been.
I felt like he just got it. It potentially was a mistake. Maybe he tried to ward something and was like, "Oh, what? That's a Rift Herald."
Yeah, that also might be a thing. I've done that before.
Yeah.
It's not fun. And meanwhile, we take a look now. This Varus is catapulted ahead and is just going to delete anyone on hit. Varus is something to worry about. And then
Yeah,
meanwhile,
100%.
we see the anti-heal come out, but it's on what's the Bramblefest, which is
Summer
the worst of the Grievous Wounds items. Actually, no, because I think the support one still exists. But I mean, it makes sense when you're playing up against an Aatrox in a 1v1. You're gonna want the anti-heal in general, but in team fight,
Oh, a good turn
not
from
gonna want
Ibis there. Able to 90
Yeah.
The ultimate from
Oh, the
Cassiopeia.
slow.
And that's going to be
Is it
another
enough?
kill over
Yep.
there going to the Victor. Well played there by Victor.
Yeah, meanwhile, on the mid lane section, it is going to be tier 1 falling there. And now setting their sights on this top lane and circling onto Havoc Pigeon. The healing, though, out of Renekton is just too much. And now they're going to go for the tier 2 on the other end. And they should be able to get it, actually. This Varus just autoing so quickly, just deleting that turret. And that's tier 2 in favor of Cowboys.
And that's going to be a 4K gold lead and a 4 kill lead and a 2 dragon lead. The leads are growing for Cowboys. They are able to get onto Moitman here. Moitman may be going down. That's going to be a shutdown, a huge shutdown going over to Jinx. That's exactly why they want that gold for DPS. You know, if you got a Jinx, you have a chance, especially if your Jinx is able to get shutdowns and get fights like that. That's huge. There is a dragon spawning in under a minute. There's also a Baron that is spawned. Is Chosen going to be able to get out of there? Looks like will be followed by Blackfire. It's going to use the ultimate onto Zach. Very interesting. This could lead straight into a Baron, but they have to be worried about the Victor. Victor can ruin their day at the Baron. You know, Baron is going to take away a lot of their MR. You got it.
Yeah,
they have to be.
They have to be. But this Aatrox on the flank.
Oh, if they're going to be able to. Oh, there is an ultimate
sandwiched.
That stuns a couple. Here's the back line.
Oh, deleted.
Looking for Victor. Victor does go down.
So much damage, but he goes down to Cassiopeia. And now it's just Renekton. And
Moitman's here now.
Yeah, Moitman is back, so you got to be careful about that. This Zach is going to elect to go for Lakey, the support, see if he can just...
Yeah, just trying. They're trying to get it onto. Yeah, they're trying to get it onto a carry. They do get it onto the Cassiopeia. That is what you like to see. Now it's a 2K gold difference and a 1K and a 1 kill difference. So they are able to make up some ground there as DPS.
But another
and maybe they may look for the dragon.
No Baron for DPS.
That is no Baron, but they are happy with the kills. But will they lose here? There's a teleport that is coming in quicker. It's going to get very low. Another kill going over to the Jinx. Yet again, Jinx now on a rampage, maybe looking for more. That could be another kill over to the Jinx. The Jinx is going to get another kill and is going to get excited. There is a Victor in the bush. Are they aware? Okay, the Victor.
It looks like they do see
Victor, and that's going to be a triple kill.
And takes the cone over, realizes that's a mistake.
If you have a Jinx, you have a chance.
And there's that Jinx that we were so worried about. A triple kill for the Jinx. Now 350 shut down on the board in favor of that. Red team takes out the Ocean Dragon. DPS now back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, 16 to 16. They're still down a little bit.
1.5 gold. So, but still, really just a great job there of sticking together on DPS. And Cowboys electing to go with the one at a time strat, not what you want to do against the Jinx, and they pay the price for it. So going to be something to keep in mind as we head later on into this game. Both teams with a dragon apiece. Uh-oh. Moitman.
Moitman could be in trouble. See the flash. Will the flash be enough? And there's another kill going over to Jinx. Jinx is now godlike. 8-2 and 6. Jinx picking up a lot of kills in these last few fights.
Yeah, and if I'm DPS, I'm making a beeline right for this Baron in this game. Looks like
they're going to do it. Going to use that to check for the vision, and looks like they are going to start up the Baron. But Chosen is here.
Really in the area.
Are they going to continue hitting the Baron? They are going to continue hitting the Baron. Your back next is going to continue hitting the Baron. The Baron's going to be at about half HP now. Chosen is going to be chased out by the... Oh, but it looks like they're going to turn on Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia may be the lamb that gets sacrificed. Ooh, a great ultimate there. Will Cassiopeia stay alive? And it's going to be flashed out by Happy Pigeon, and there is going to be the kill. Happy Pigeon is going to get the kill, but now they got the Baron. Your back connection is about half HP. He is here to fight. Is going to take down Happy Pigeon. Is going to start hitting Happy Pigeon. Happy Pigeon is going to get really low, but is not dead yet. And here's the stun from Victor, and there's the channeling E from Zach. The slingshot is going to go in on Lakey, but people are not going to die. And now they have gotten separated.
But the arrows are still there. Look at the range that Cowboys has. The slow from the Braum. And now Chosen chasing after this Jinx. They want the shutdown in their favor. However, the Zach doing everything he can to peel for his ADC.
Okay. And Cowboys surviving that.
Despite getting the Baron, DPS loses majority of their lives and is going to lose their tier 3 and maybe even inhib for this.
Will
Not
they
quite.
re-engage this? Or will
No,
they
they're going to
be
back
this like
up.
they're gonna be able to walk away?
Cassiopeia is back up. I'm leaving if I'm them.
Now say Zach looking for something. They're having to walk. Will they find a safe place to? Ooh! Did that
Jinx Rocket coming
dragon
out of
give them
nowhere.
vision? Oh, probably not fully.
Zach. I was going to say, Zach, you're jumping into an on-hit Varus. I do not recommend that.
No, Zach has to keep going forward. Zach's gonna keep jumping in. And there it is. There's a team fight that they wanted.
Yep.
They're able to kill one. Here's a teleport coming in, though. The Havoc Pigeon is in the back line. Quickert is once again going to take off all the CC. And Blackbear's going to go down as well. 2 people goes down. Where is the Jinx? Where is the Jinx? That's what they're thinking. Havoc Pigeon is going to get the stun onto Jinx. Jinx is going to cleanse it. That's a double kill for the victor. A double kill. And Jinx is going to get stunned. There's a triple kill for the victor. Now they're going to chase down Charybdis.
Oh.
Potentially another kill.
This is dead. Yeah, you're not getting out of
Yeah,
this
definitely
as a
going.
melee
Another
up.
kill. It's going to be a
And that's
quadra kill going over to the
again,
victor.
Another quadra for Ibis in this one. Just absolutely phenomenal play right there by Kako. Was being patient, waiting their time, baiting out the team of DPS, and just absolutely deleting them from the game. And now Cowboys in full command of this one.
Cowboys looking like they were slipping for a second, but they have been able to fight back in the last few fights.
And look at up by Baron Pit. Look how many control wards are in the area from
Cowboys
DPS.
really. Yeah. Those are DPS. That's right.
Yeah, red. It's DPS. They have 3 control wards, all in like
5th
the
dragon of the
same
game's about
vicinity.
to spawn here in a little bit under a minute.
Yeah.
But look at these wards here, these forward wards here from Cowboys as well.
Yeah, really just great vision, but we're gonna have a Ocean Soul up here, and if I'm Cowboys, I'm putting everything on this because you do not want a Aatrox and a Zac to get multiple Ocean Souls, and especially not Emilio as well.
Milio potentially in trouble.
Oh,
Milio
no,
definitely in
Milio.
trouble. Milio 100% in trouble.
Yeah.
Milio is in trouble. They see there's on the way pings to the mid lane. They do see the Jinx. Jinx may be in trouble here. They're going after the Jinx. The Jinx does get ulted! And Jinx is gone. That's a godlike now.
How did stun it?
Yeah, it didn't look like it was going to hit, but it hit.
What? Right?
And the bot lane, both bot laners get caught out there. DPS gonna have to give up the dragon. They're lucky that it's all that they're giving up there. There is no other neutral objective or major objective on the map that's easy for Cowboys to claim. So they're just gonna walk away with this 3rd dragon.
Yeah, and that's big because you don't let the big healers on the side of DPS get access to a 2nd Ocean Soul, and it helps your Renekton out as well, healing a good amount. And then maybe helps out Victor if he elects to go for Crypt Bloom. I mean, we've seen him get a bunch of takedowns in this one, really being the carry for Cowboys in this one.
Huge.
So
And, Victor is a hell of a late game. Late game team fighter, does scale super way into late game. One of those control mages. I mean, Cassiopeia does too, but Cassiopeia was significantly behind the Victor. Looks like a full item behind, about 3K behind the Victor right now.
ahead in CS though, which is a thing to note, but champs are definitely worth a lot more gold than minions are, so not enough of a CS lead to justify them being even. As you said, half an item in hand.
Now a
on
5K gold
Victor.
lead in general for the Cowboys. Looks like they're going to clear out, get ready for this Baron that is spawning in a minute.
Renekton gonna
the
let
Havoc
do a little
Pigeon.
bit of shenanigans, and Pigeon, you gotta be careful being up there like that.
They
He's gonna be able
they
to
decide not to take
TP.
that fight, so they are going to disengage from both sides. Neither side wanted to fight that. Looks like
Yeah.
they may be collapsing up here on the top side of the map. How aware is DPS of the positioning of Cowboys? Because their red side jungle here is very, very dangerous. There's a lot of Cowboys out there lurking. Looks like they're gonna have to give out the tier 2 top lane tower. Here is the potential engage from Zac. Zac is channeling something. Is going to be flying to nowhere.
Yeah, a little bit of a fake out there for us. Not really much on his end, for sure. And then Oh, we do see Sejuani.
Oh yeah,
Start to try
Sejuani
and go
was
in a
yeah,
bit of a
but they
sack,
they did not
immediately
believe that
gets out of
Sejuani was
there.
alone. They were like, oh,
Yeah,
certainly we can't fight
Zach,
Sejuani, yeah.
Zach said, "I want nothing to do with this right now." I think it's
But
also interesting.
Cowboys end up in the better position for this Baron that's now spawned. And they're going to start it. And the Baron's at half HP. The Baron's going to die. This Baron is dead.
uncontested.
This Baron is gone. This Baron is
Melted.
Cowboys. Yeah, melted the Baron. Yeah, Cowboys did a very good job there pushing forward and getting the control of that quadrant of the jungle, making it pretty much impossible for DPS to safely walk up and contest
Yeah.
the Baron.
Yeah, and another thing I want to note is this Zach built Hollowed Radiance first rather than Sunfire, which is good in theory until you realize you're running into an on-hit Varus. So I question that build there, personally, especially with solo.
Interesting. Is this
solo
like
EP
is this like
coming out
a magic
from
resistance
Victor.
version
Yeah,
of Sunfire?
it's only Victor you have to worry about. And then goes Thornmail, second completed item. Like, what?
It's
Meanwhile, going to try and
interesting.
engage
Could be slowed.
onto them there, but not quite going to be able to get anything out of it. Right now, Cowboys in
Crickett's
full
not
control of
there.
the top
Crickett's
half.
not there for the fight. They're looking to do the fight. I don't think they should
Cowboys
look
is
to
going for
look
this
a
top
fight.
tower.
Yeah. Okay, Zach looking. Oh, not looking for top lane. I thought Zach was aiming that top lane. Did not aim that top lane. Will they do something about this push in the top lane? The top lane inhibitor tower is getting very, very low. Will they be able to do anything about that? Will they engage before the tower goes down? Looks like Cowboys are going to be the one to the first one to engage. That's going to be Kreger flashing and then getting cleansed. After the flash, the Havoc Pigeon is going to get
Pigeon
low.
ate so many
but
cooldowns
is
right
alive.
there. Are you kidding me? And Victor just
Black Fate going to be forced to flash away.
chunking.
Oh, it's going to re-engage though. Not going to get the knock-up though on the
This
E.
Zach is a
There's a
madman.
teleport coming in. And Havoc Pigeon is here, full HP, and then Zach is dead.
Zach, why would you go back in?
Yeah,
You're right next to your fountain.
Zach
Don't
did go
heal.
in with like pretty much no HP. That is rough. Then we're
did
gonna
have
just
passive,
have
but, like,
the
You're
passive
at
is
the
going
late
to
game, your
get
passive
deleted.
doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like, what? And now Cowboys gets free siege without having to worry about Zach jumping from the base. But meanwhile, you
Ooh,
do have
ooh,
Jinx in
ooh,
hand. You gotta
ooh,
stay
ooh,
wary of
ooh.
that shutdown on to Mointment.
Oh, they're fighting back.
Gotta come-
Oh, they're
oh.
fighting back. Oh, they're fighting back. Oh,
And that's
Jinx is
gonna
very
be a
happy
team
with
wipe
this.
There, Quadra for the Jinx. And now, I don't
Oh,
think they can
well.
end off this. Tier
Well,
2
they
and Tier
cannot.
3 still in favor of Cowboys. But now, you just gave a massive, massive, massive gold injection into
Do they
that
just
Jinx.
do they just tank this? I think they just tanked this. Yeah, they're just gonna tank it. Whew.
Interesting strategy going to be coming out here.
Okay, and
Aatrox
the
getting-
minion comes up. Okay, this one minion is gonna they need this one minion to make these towers go down. There you go. Yeah, the one minion.
They gonna be able to end?
No, they have one minion. In
Okay,
fact, the
yeah.
one minion is actually now dead. So
They also have the Winions sieging the base
yeah.
as well. That
We see
Super
Zach.
minion is
Zach is
chunking
back
that
there.
tower.
Is back there struggling for sure. Let's see if we see them over here. That
Ocean
should be
Dragon,
the
that's
ocean.
not going to be
So
contested
that'll
in time.
stop them from getting the soul. So now both teams are on soul point. We do have the maximum 6. We're gonna
I
have the
did
maximum
say a
7
35
dragons.
plus minute game, did I?
Yeah.
So definitely going to be something to keep an eye on. In
Now this game
one,
could go
for
either
sure.
way. The next big team fight wipe could lead to the end of the game.
Yeah, and you also have a Jinx that is just absolutely fed.
Exactly.
So I'm feeling
on
that's going to
both
be the win
sides
con
here.
in this one for sure.
Yeah, it's Victor versus Jinx. Although I will say the Victor and the Varus are more powerful than Cassiopeia and Jinx. Cassiopeia is still a bit behind here in this game, but you know,
Yeah.
very useful still. At this point in the game, the difference in gold kind of become less and less apparent and less meaningful. As just once everyone just starts getting a lot of items, then it's not
Yeah.
much of a difference.
Yeah, meanwhile, still have super minions on the top side, but then you have super minions in mid lane as well, so that's something to keep an eye on. You
Okay, they
cannot
don't
let
have
this
they don't
Jinx
have
get up
Chosaint
there.
here. If they're able to get a good engage while they are split, but not they are going to back up. Not going to let that happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, meanwhile, Baron up in a minute 30 in this one, so both teams going to elect to start looking to get vision on that end. And then meanwhile, looks like Chosane's going to steal
Just
that
stealing the
jungle farm
jungle.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right now, I think this
UBC
is going to
just
come down to
finished
this
his
Baron
last
fight.
item. I think Jinx probably just finished the last item there. If I was to
Yep.
guess, yep. UBC just finished the last item. Varus has also completed all their items, so both ADCs are at full build. Victor not at full build yet. Probably just
Yeah,
now.
probably going
Just
into a
now.
Crypt Bloom
Yeah.
with that
Wait.
last bit.
Oh yeah. Okay. Getting there.
Could be Crypt Bloom, could be
Cassiopeia.
Void Staff. And then meanwhile,
Also
we
has an item
see
too.
we see them pushing up in mid wave, getting great pressure, but then minions as well on top
They're
side.
gonna
Gotta
have
keep
to.
an eye on that.
They have to win this vision game at this point.
Yeah, gotta be tough to judge. You also have Havoc Pigeon down there in bot lane, trying to shove this wave in as much as possible.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
there's
they're
the
gonna come
ultimate
out
onto
in
Quagger. Oh my God! But a
Oh,
five-man
massive,
stun.
massive Cassiopeia stun. Are you kidding me? And Jinx is just
Woo!
gonna clean up 1, 2, and now 3 fall. And it's just all DPS.
It
Jinx and
just takes the
Cassiopeia.
one. Oh my God! A huge Cassiopeia ulti there.
What an
And
ultimate.
now
And
it's
now,
Varus versus
yeah,
the world.
forget
How?
it, Baron. Just go
That's
in.
that. This 40-second timers. It's just Varus.
Yeah, just absolutely insane by that Cassiopeia, man. Just absolutely phenomenal job to bait everything out and hit this stun of the century right there, waiting for the super minions to come towards them. Varus, the only one left to try and stop the siege,
Oh,
and
here come the minion. That's all they need.
by himself. And here's the
Yeah,
minions.
yep.
They can ignore this Varus, which they will
Mr.
not.
Krabs is going to die to the tower. And there is UBC
And that's
ending the
game.
game. And
Wow.
DPS gets their first victory of the season. Their first match win of the season.
What a performance, though. Great job.
Please
It
tell
seemed
me
like
they
they
end
were-
here, bro. I can't.
It seemed like they were dead to rights. So the
What a
Jinx
And look, the game ends
firing
exactly
out of
at
nowhere.
midnight. The game ends exactly at midnight.
Are
April
you
Fools.
kidding me?
You thought Cowboys was going to win. JK. April Fools. It's going to be DPS.
Absolutely phenomenal job though to bounce back in that one. I thought for sure Cowboys had that one in the bag, but then it's like you said, never count yourself out if you have Jinx on your team. Just absolutely snowballed out of control in this one and just melted every member of the Cowboys and propelled DPS to their first win of the season.
59k, 59,000 damage coming out from the Jinx. The next most in the game is 40,000 by the Victor. So the Jinx was like almost 20k ahead of the person that did the next most damage there. Who would be your MVP? UBC interview? Yeah, it's probably just gonna be your bad connection.
Yeah, I was gonna
for
say
being
bad
honest.
connection.
It's
for
definitely
sure.
your
It's
bad
MVP.
connection.
There's
You
no
don't
other.
have to-
Yeah, there's no debate. in this
I'm sure
one.
he already knows. I'm sure David probably expects to get pulled into the booth at this point, obviously, to get your first match win of the game.
There he is.
Were you not expecting to get pulled in?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't usually get them, so
You don't usually get them. Well, it's your team's. I think it's your team's first win of the season. I'll have to check on that, but I'm pretty sure that's your
yeah,
team's
it's
first
just,
win of the
it feels
season.
so good.
Yeah, finally the streak breaks. Hey, it's just like you're breaking the seal. Now the winds will come flowing in. We know the DPS. I think this is not the first time I've seen you guys struggle in the regular season, then kind of turn on later on. Hey, ask him what happened to me. The chat wants to know what happened to Stevie Wonder's 46.
Mm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we made a support change, so yeah.
I see. I understand. Yeah, Chase
It
coming in,
happens.
Charybdis coming in. Charybdis, who was playing for, I think, Maria's Dungeon last season, coming in. It looks like there were actually a lot of new additions. If you guys actually pay attention to roster updates, there have been a lot of new additions to DPS recently, which actually happened like a while ago, but like so we didn't. By the way, guys, fill out the if you're doing roster changes, fill out the little roster change sheet. It does help us kind of organize when things happen. But yeah, new people added to the team. What did you guys think after game one? I'm pretty game one was pretty heavily in Cowboys' favor.
I
How did
think
you guys maintain mental?
I think they literally only won because, well, okay, they did heavily play around mid, right? Like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, Jack went 0 and 10, but that was because their
Okay.
team came in
Yeah.
with a big plan, right? Their plan was to target mid lane, and since our comp literally revolves around like delivery of Ori ball with J4, if they just target the Oriana, she's weak, she's like really susceptible to dying, then like the whole comp kind of falls apart. I kind of drafted like a pretty shitty ADC pick too, and like I drafted like a bad top as well, because like their team kind of wants to like go, so like essentially you want to like flank with the Olaf, and then like front to back, and then like use the delivery with their J4 Oriana. But what they
Hmm.
were essentially, if you flank his Olaf, they just go forward into us and ace us, and he never actually flanks and catches up to them. So that
Yeah.
was pretty bad on my side for
Yeah, it seems
drafting
like
that.
you
That was pretty
guys
stupid.
multiple times in that first game really struggled to get your team fight ideal team fight situation happening. And then yeah, there
Yeah.
was a lot of early pressure onto the Oriana. Of course, the what was the Oriana's reaction to the 5-man down mid flash Nautilus hook into the Ari charm first
I
blood?
don't think he said a word. I don't think anyone said a word.
Just like okay.
I think it just
Saving
happened. Like,
Flash for
it was pretty
retirement.
cool though, because people usually don't do that, and I would never have expected to. They literally just clicked all instantly mid, and they just flashed on the first thing they saw. So that was pretty smart of them.
Yeah,
Like,
it's pretty
I think
funny to
I would
see.
fall for it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a pretty bad game one. The draft was pretty awful, so I take full responsibility for that, right? Well, okay, the idea was good. The Some of the champions that I decided to go with were bad, right? So like the draft, uh, was actually like the idea was good, and actually I want to give big props to Sashimi Senpai Hui. He's been doing like an amazing job like helping us with draft and analysis and stuff. So we're improving a lot on that. So shout outs to him. And yeah, and that's where we came to game two and game three, where we made like it was similar, right? You guys got the idea of the delivery of the Galio instead of the ball. It's way easier to play.
Yeah, very much
Right?
easier. It's ease of
Yeah,
execution, as I preach a lot. Yeah.
yeah. So that was way easier to play, and all I had to do was just get one person needed to get low on their team, and I get a reset, and I wiped them all essentially, while being like staying alive. Right? Their job is to kill me, so I just needed to not die. Everyone did a good job of healing me, and doing their job. So shout out to them for playing well. Game two and game three was a really close game.
Yes.
Honestly, there were some points where I thought we were gonna lose, but
Yeah.
obviously our
Same. Yeah,
mentals are really good. Like this team has really, really good mental. So that's good. But yeah,
Shout out
we
to
had
the
that
5-man Cassiopeia ulti. I feel like
yeah,
Cassiopeia was kind of mostly struggling through that game. The victory was very strong, but then at the
yeah.
end hit a massive ultimate that I think just led to the end of the game.
Yeah, I think that was like obviously crucial for us to win that game. They
Hmm.
just super committed on Jack in mid lane, and they got hit by a 5-man ult. Unfortunately, they just didn't pay attention. They all got hit, and we turned it around. So God bless them for throwing the game. So yeah, and our draft that game was okay. I think we made just a lot of mistakes though. So we literally just need to clear up all these mistakes, right? Like I think now we can literally beat anyone, and I think we can win the whole thing. So I think we can definitely
Okay.
win.
Okay.
I don't care if we're
Ooh.
1 in like 4. Like that doesn't mean anything anymore because we're basically like a new team now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So big shout outs to everyone though. Everyone on my team played super well. Shout outs to Sashimi, who you can't tell all the work he put in, especially this week on like drafts and stuff. And yeah, just shout out to my team. Everyone played well. You had good mentals. Just keep it up, and also as well, shout out to Chase for coming in and just like quickly integrating himself on the team and playing well. It's been a good help, especially bot. Yeah.
Now Wilson is our resident in the booth, a Cowboys representative, going to the same university as I
Oh,
think
hey,
some of the
hey,
people.
hey.
Hey, you know,
Loosely
a little bit.
associated. Loosely
Yeah, loosely
associated.
associated with the Cat Cowboys. Do you have any questions for our team captain of DPS here?
Really, just what was the idea, or I guess not really what was the idea, but was the idea heading to that last game just the same as game two? Get you as fed as possible on Jinx at any moment.
Um, I mean, I don't think it's just me. I think it's just everyone, right? Like, I think we have like Jinx. She just wants to reset. I literally just
Yeah.
want to kill them, and I just need other people to set that up for me. And I
Hmm.
think we just picked the champions that were good into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Cowboys pretty good team though. They definitely know how to keep the pressure up. They have like good decision making
Yeah, for sure.
across like just across the board. So they're a good team.
You could
So
tell that they're cohesive. You could tell that they
yeah,
that they
no,
listen
they're
to a
definitely
shot caller
cohesive.
and
Like
stuff.
that game
Yeah.
could have gone either way, right? So
Yeah.
just because they lost here doesn't mean they're like bad or anything. I think they're good. It just sucks that they died there at the very end, but I still think we're the better team, and I think we have potential to be better. So we just have to work on that and just play more. That's literally
Yeah.
all. We need more
It's
cohesion.
it's early on in the new roster, like you said, a bunch of changes to that. So, but yeah, congratulations, man.
Mhm.
Good stuff out there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Thank you, thank you.
Now, that being said, about it being early on, it's actually not as early on as it seems. Next week will be week 5. If there's any team captains like listening, that means at the end of week 5, Sunday at the week 5, it'll be 2 weeks until playoffs, and we will shut down that between week 5 and 6. Whenever we will shut down roster changes. So make sure that you get all of your roster changes between now and like the middle of next week. I'll let you guys know some type of ping to the captains, but we are getting towards the it's already like April. We've already made it this far. We've already had a whole month of BTL as we finish week 4. But so yeah, I'll be giving more information about that as we get there. But yeah, fantastic that DPS gets their first win here. And it is already past midnight on the eastern seaboard, so we are going to be heading out here. Thank you so much for UBC for coming in and talking to us, although I didn't really give you a choice and just kind of grabbed you. Thank you for Wilson for coming and helping out with the cast. And thank you all
Of
you guys
course.
for watching. Everyone have a good night. We're going to go ahead and throw a raid to... Let's do it to Cosmic Cat, who I see online, who probably none of y'all know. I kind of know. Cosmic Cat is the first person that made our logo. By the way, this is the lore. This is like at the time I think Nabu and Cosmic
BTL
Cat
lore?
were dating, and I think Cosmic Cat made this for BTL whenever Nabu was the chairman of BTL. If y'all remember, like Nabu, if y'all have been here for a long time, if not, y'all don't know anything who I'm talking about. But anyways, like this was like in 2019, I think. We made this logo and we switched over to the lion being the logo. But anyways, Cosmic Cat made the logo. So go check out Cosmic Cat playing for the King 2. Gotta have our shout outs and support the creators in the original Black Twitch community, people that helped us get to where we are today. We don't forget anybody. So gonna go and throw a raid over to Cosmic Cat. We will catch you guys next Saturday at 6 p.m. for I don't even know what the match is. Nice Mass versus DPS. All right, Nice Mass DPS will be our first up for next week, and we will catch you guys then. Peace out.
Ooh.